Hello. Oh, and welcome. I don't know. We'll start here in a second. I'll wait for just a minute. We'll see what's going on with it. Um, I have a Turkey Tom video to start out with. Let me, with our extra time, let me explain. um, so, here's the thing. If you, I just wanted like a comprehensive rundown of like the previous pirate software stuff. H3 did it, but they mostly talk about their voice. Also, I decided that like eh, it probably separate. Just take a break because this situation has nothing to do with H3. So like separate from H3 for a minute. You know what I mean? So I decided to use Tom's video. Also, the other person talking about this is oh my god, what's his name? I don't know, but he's apparently not. He's a controversial figure too. I don't know if the allegations against him are real or not. But at the same time, it's like, you know. So I figured Tom was the best option we had. Also, we haven't heard from him in a while, so maybe it'll remind people that Tom exists. So, Tom exists, guys. If you didn't know, Turkey Tom exists. He's been gone. I wonder if he's with his dog girlfriend or whatever. You know, did you? We're about to go on a weird tangent. Yeah, that's fine. Turkey Tom was into this. She seemed sweet, and they seemed like a good couple. Before we get started, we can watch. Is it on this one? Or is it on regular Turkey Tom? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's not worry about it. But he was making videos with her. So maybe that's what he's off doing. In my mind, there you go. He's off having fun with his very beautiful um puppy streamer girlfriend, and she seems so um not well. He probably has. He's fine.
Tom, and today
I know that people like say that he's like pirating other people's work. I have no idea. I have a feeling it doesn't matter. I meet a lot of people, and oftentimes when you pay other people to write for you, especially sometimes those people get lazy. Unfortunately, especially when you have a lot of people on your team, and sometimes they take from other people's videos. And so I have a feeling that's probably what has happened, but I don't know.
today we're gonna take a little bit of a chill pill. That's right. Today's gonna be more of a super chill and relaxed video. We're gonna cover something that isn't about assault.
Hello. Uniwick live. Oh my god, there's a gnat that flew like right into my face. It like sacrificed it, so it tried to fly into my eyeball. Hello.
Or grooming or even gooning. Now that may be a shock to some of you that there are dramas that don't involve that, but they do happen. And today's story is
Oh, what you don't know, Tom. This is past Tom. If I could only tell Tom that, so there's so much more gooning in the story than he realizes. Naive, innocent Tom. Look how dumb he is here. Look at the dumb words he's about to say.
shock to some of you that there are dramas that don't involve that, but they do happen. And today's story is pretty interesting regardless, because today we're going to be taking a look into the realm of this little fella named Pirate Software. Now, for those of you who haven't already heard of Pirate Software from this drama, don't worry, because I barely had either. I mean, I had heard the name before, and I had seen him existing, but I didn't really know exactly who he was. And
Literally, the most I had heard of Pirate Software was like when all this shit started. Like, I started hearing Pirate Software name whenever the WoW. I knew, like Tom's about to say, like his little. I saw his like YouTube shorts and TikToks and stuff, but I really didn't know who he was. Um, Yeah, it doesn't matter. But until the WoW stuff happened, that's like the first time I really even came acquainted with pirate software.
Until I realized he's the MS
I have a feeling it's a similar situation for a lot of people.
YouTube Shorts guy. There's a good chance, even if you have not seen this drama at all, you have seen at least one pirate software short for like half a nanosecond as you mindlessly doom scroll through YouTube Reels. And that was really his main claim to fame. That's what blew him up. Pirate Software has dozens of Reels that have over 10 million views, where he basically whips out MS Paint and talks about a subject seemingly as a super duper smart gamer, but also a Chad guy with a deep voice. Personally, my favorite one of these is when he revealed that his father was the fat neckbeard that South Park based their fat neckbeard character off of in the South Park TV show.
No, my dad didn't inspire the WoW guy from South Park. My dad is the WoW guy from South Park. He was the cinematic director for Blizzard for 23 years. He worked on the episode with Matt and Trey, and they turned him into a character. That's him. Yeah, that's actually him. Yeah. It's not a joke. That's not like a similarity. Like, that's him. This is his apartment. This is him. Even the guy that cosplayed my dad didn't know he was real, but no, he's a real guy.
But before this entire situation, Pirate Software was generally well respected, and for the most part, his content is about as uncontroversial as you can get. And that's why it was so shocked that many can't stand anymore and find very annoying, find very obnoxious. And today, we're going to be getting into all of it.
You weren't paying attention to party resources, you overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where the boss was. That's not on me.
Ooh, just take some blame, goddammit. Just a bit.
I don't know if we could
It's okay.
move back.
Not a big deal.
So this entire drama started with World of Warcraft. Now, I personally have never really played this game, but many people have, and have extensively explained the World of Warcraft situation, which seems relatively straightforward to understand for me, but if I get any slight detail about World of Warcraft wrong, just know I don't play this video game before you comment. Actually, Tom, the spell you're referring to is a level 5 Ice Shard spell that extends the Ice Shard into the enemy's asshole and does not use the element of... Think of it
Okay,
like
Tom, you're so edgy and funny. Let's keep going.
You and your buddies all have a group where you defeat all the other super hard NPCs. Now, at the time, Pirate Software was playing a version called Hardcore WoW, where a character's death results in a permanent loss. This is very significant because reaching the maximum level can require up to 100 hours of playtime, and if you die, that is hundreds of hours of character progression that is just instantly lost that you cannot get back.
So he hard fucked like everybody that he was playing with, essentially. He fucked them over out. So I'd be like, there's this crocheter that I watch, but he did it in crochet terms. It's so silly. It's girly terms. So for girls that crochet, that'd be like if you went to somebody's work, like somebody spent hours making like this ginormous blanket, like intricate blanket with a bunch of different stitches that you learned, and then somebody just cuts it on like one of the stitches and frogs the whole thing. And then just leaves you a pile of yarn in your floor and then says that you're the problem. That's what he did. All right. But in WoW. I'm so sorry.
Enter Pirate Software. Pirate was a part of a group called OnlyFans, which is basically just a guild full of streamers that had to stream whenever they were playing, like Soda Poppin' and Miz.
They were all... Tom will explain it better, but they were all rushing, essentially, and they were supposed to hold back... Essentially abandon them. He abandoned them, and they lost their characters that they spent... And when you die in this... in, like, the hard mode. I don't play WoW.
Skiff and all those sort of OTK peripheral guys on Twitch. Well, during one dungeon run, Pirate and a couple of others were on one of the hardest maps in WoW called Dire Maul. So that, plus playing on hardcore, made tensions already high. But then their group accidentally engaged multiple enemy groups and a boss simultaneously, making the situation pretty unfavorable to them. So they decided to retreat. In hardcore WoW, retreating involves a coordinated effort where players support each other by healing teammates or controlling the enemies while escaping together. This is like a full-on military operation. Watching these guys play this game is less like watching a bunch of friends have fun and more like watching Band of Brothers. Now, Pirate Software, playing as a mage, ran without helping his group. When he was urged to return and help out, he claimed to be out of mana, which is a resource needed for spells. However, that was false, as he had 2 items that could restore his mana, and he had deliberately wasted his mana when he was confronted about it.
Heal him. Yeah, just heal me. Just come back a little bit.
Plus on me, sitting bare form.
Snappy, just run.
I can help a lot. Yeah.
I will say, knowing nothing about WoW specifically and knowing like a little bit about video games and just like also about like how regular humans interact and react, I can just tell that this is extremely fucked up. Like this is dumb as fuck. Like
Hey, walking, bro.
What are you talking about? Why am I walking
This
with
is
my mana?
savageable. Come on, man.
Just kill the mastiffs.
Innovate,
Kill the
come on.
mastiffs. We got this.
Heal.
In the sense of
Or something?
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
just kill the mastiffs. One shot. Okay, we
More
got
than one away, more than
right
away.
now.
Ultimately, he and a few others did survive, while 2 other group members lost their characters permanently because this is hardcore.
They called
Boss
run,
came up after,
I
like, the
ran,
massive
and I was
field,
out of mana.
after we,
I don't know what the hell they were expecting, dude. That does not make any sense. No, they overpulled 2 polls and the boss. Like,
The triple quadrupling, good lord, down is like the craziest part to me, I think.
Now, mistakes were made by a lot of people in the group, which is common in the game. Players are expected to handle errors by taking responsibility and learning from them. However, Pirate Software denied any responsibility, insisting he was not at fault, he had nothing to do with it. When he was confronted as to why he abandoned the team, Pirate said he had to run, he just had to go, he had no choice.
You instantly ran. You didn't even look
as much
back.
as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
I'm
You,
not angry
called,
at all. I'm
you
not angry at all.
overpulled 2 packs. You overpulled 2 packs and a boss. I had 1,400 mana left. I had to spend all of that mana to try and put it on Blizzard to save you guys in the first place, and nothing left. You weren't paying attention to party resources. You overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where the boss was. That's not on me. No 100% danger. When your shot caller says run, it's time to run. You run. That is how that works. You were the shot caller. You called for run. I ran.
I'm not a shot
and I was
caller.
out of
Actually,
mana.
I'm a noob, bro. I
You
think I
called
have
the
way
shot.
less experience than you have.
Oh dear God.
And I can still see that I can at least use a Frost Nova there.
Okay, by the way, if anybody is still here that came because you saw the title and the thumbnail and you're interested in that, we are going over that. We are going over those allegations, and I should say levied against Pirate Software against Pirate Software from God. Oh. Lyric Wulf. Yeah. Lyric Wulf. And so I couldn't remember his name, I'm so sorry. But we will be going over that, and those are just, I mean, the abuse part are just allegations. He has receipts showing that their interactions are in fact real, and we can go over it and see, and come to our own personal conclusions, but still yet I don't know if anybody will really know, if this was we'll look at it. It's not great, I will say. It's like it's right there where I don't know really what it is quite yet. Essentially he's accusing him of financial and emotional manipulation, which, or she, I don't know how this person identifies. I think I've seen some people say she, so I'm gonna say she until I know for sure. But I've heard some people say that she, I forget where I was going with it. Shit. Fuck. God damn it, motherfucker. Okay. Let's just fuck it. I'm like, let's just. I know that I was about to tell you guys chill. Financial gain. That's interesting. Financial gain. Okay. So I would assume that that's like most of the predatory part of the allegation. So, okay. So we'll get into how Pirate Software actually and financially manipulated this person into giving him those things. I would assume, I don't know how we got money off of her, or so. Let me just see if I can find how they identify real quick.
Okay, then go roll
You were
mage
the
and do
first
it.
person that ran away and didn't even look back.
And so at this point, we have to introduce a new sort of archetype in hardcore WoW, the shot caller. See, the shot caller is basically someone who calls out commands for the team, so everyone knows what's going on and can coordinate better. In Band of Brothers, this is Captain Winters. He's coordinating everyone. He's trying to be a good leader, and if he fails, if your commanding officer fails, it's potential that the responsibility of the entire team failing is partially on him. This isn't exclusive to World of Warcraft. It applies to a lot of other multiplayer games where people are really autistic about them. So, for example, if someone needs heals or the boss is low on health, or in this case, if the entire team needs to retreat, the shot caller is going to issue a 1 or 2 word command so the entire team can follow. For those of you who have have never played online team games before, hearing what Pirate Software said might seem like a fair point. The shot caller did say to run, so he ran. The issue, though, as I said before, is almost always when you're playing a team game, when someone says run, he doesn't literally mean every man for himself. It's more like, let's all retreat together, let's all fall back together, and try keeping each other alive while we escape. This is like if in Band of Brothers, when they're fighting in Normandy, if Captain Winter said fall back, and Garnier just instantly...
We're just gonna use they because they don't really say themselves, so I would assume that that is the case. Like, even on this fake little driver's license that they've made for themselves, it does not give a gender, so we'll say they.
ran, did not shoot his weapon at all, and left his entire team. So unless the shot caller is outright saying every man for himself, if you die, that's on you, when he says run, he means keep everyone alive and let's retreat in a coordinated fashion. This is especially the case when it comes to hardcore, because as I said, hundreds of hours of playtime are on the line, so keeping your team alive could mean the difference between weeks of not being able to stream with your group because you have to grind up to the level you were at again, or being able to continue streaming with that same group and not having any issues, right? And another thing to keep in mind here is that this is all live streamed, so if your character dies permanently, you may not be able to make as much money because you're not going to be able to play with that team anymore. So as I kept talking about what happened, Pirate Software really refused to take any responsibility for essentially being a deserter, and instead he started blaming the other teammates for their deaths. When he was given the slightest amount of pushback, he absolutely raged and just left the call that they were in.
This is the second time. This
You
is
could
the
have at least said like the boss.
You're just gonna talk over me? Is that what we're doing now? We're just gonna talk over me? Is that all? Is that all we're doing?
My point.
Okay. You done giving your point? You good?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. You go roll a mage then. See you around. Jesus.
I don't think that's.
Insane shit. No, that is outrageous, dude. You can't blame me for that shit. You make a bad poll, you make a bad call. That's on you, not on anybody else.
Yafley donated $69.69 to charity.
They give the $69.69 to charity. You're awesome as hell. Yeah, no. They pulled that with the mage at no mana left. They pulled 2 packs and the boss. What the hell am I supposed to do for that? I could have Frost Nova'd, and the boss would still run him down and kill him. It's not on me.
Keep in mind here, Pirate Software still had his character.
I wonder if Pirate Software is still streaming. Does anybody know? Is he still, like, actively streaming? There's a high point here. Let's skip it.
I love it so much. Don't love you, though. Around this time, clips surfaced of Pirate criticizing other mage players during past streams. And in these clips, he had previously stated that the mage class is capable of saving others and had been critical of other players who had failed to do so. Additionally, other clips showed him being highly insulting and dismissive towards a newer mage player during a stream, including remarks like, oh, we had 2 mages? I didn't realize, while belittling the other player. These incidents added to concerns about his behavior and really compounded the backlash around him.
I've watched it. Like, Jay Beezy died the other day. Like, there were no sheeps going out. There were no blizzards going out. Apparently, he didn't have the spec for blizzard for slows, but, like, that's exactly why I run that spec. Because, like, when shit goes sideways, you save lives, man.
Now, as a result of this drama going down with such a high profile around it, because he was collabing with, like, Mizkif and a lot of other popular people at the time, streamers started reacting to the clips of him as they garnered more views, and eventually Soda Poppin', the leader of OnlyFangs, would react to it on stream and call out Pirate for his bad sportsmanship and lack of taking accountability.
I don't think he got them killed on purpose. I think he just sucked ass and panicked.
Ogre killed
No, I don't think it was on purpose, but it was like, here's the thing.
one and then walked it
Even
out.
though he wasn't actively, like, I don't know, on purpose might not be the right word for it, because it might have been on purpose, it might not have been malicious, though. I don't think he was like, I want them to die, but I think he very well knew the action that he was taking to I think he was self-preserving, the action that he was taking to self-preserve, to run away from the situation. He knew what it was going to do, it was going to fuck up their game. So it's not like, it wasn't necessarily on purpose, like, he knew. It's like, if an accident implies that he didn't know what was going to happen, I feel like he did know what was going to happen, but that's just, you know, speculation. Also, this part is kind of like, yeah, well, I want to stay in this part as long as possible. This is the lean back part, but we'll get through this quickly, I promise, and we'll get to the new stuff, because I'm sure everybody's heard about this stuff.
Oh.
And from what I
Yes,
gather,
it's-
again, I haven't deep dived this stuff, but from what I've gathered, he never said he did anything wrong. I mean, like, again, like, I'm not gonna fault the guy for sucking. Like, did not use his toolkit, did not use his mage properly.
Now, frankly, this wouldn't be as big of a deal if it weren't for the fact that Pirate represents himself as this really good player of World of Warcraft, because he's an ex-Blizzard employee, and he's like a super highly skilled veteran, when in reality, he made a blunder so bad that even a noob wouldn't do it. That's not to say his entire WoW career is fake, or he's pulling like a total Elon Musk or anything. Clearly, it still takes a good amount of time and effort to get to the stage he was in hardcore. It just seemed like he wasn't as good as he talked about previously. So these clips started growing in views, and pretty soon, almost every streamer was reacting to them and replying by calling Pirate Software a rat or a bad teammate. So many people called him a rat, it was almost like a racial epithet being thrown at him. He got destroyed, okay? He got absolutely mobbed. World of Warcraft, racism, W.
So, I didn't trust the group to survive. And no, I wasn't going to go back on the call of them saying, run, 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 it's time to run. So no.
It's a lot of confidence
Okay,
in being.
so we get the World of Warcraft thing.
That is ego.
When do we
Play,
talk
and they got a bit
about?
more out already.
Okay.
Which has been in development for nearly a decade. Also Pirate watched it, but he didn't really acknowledge his mistake. Instead of admitting fault, he basically disregarded his earlier statement and claimed that his actions were justified, while once again continuing to shift blame onto others for unrelated issues that hadn't really occurred. People also sifted through old clips and found this really funny one. Basically, this was with the same group that Pirate was with when he got his 2 teammates killed. He accidentally pulled in enemies and then did the same thing he did that would eventually become the biggest blunder ever, which, I mean, I guess he's at least consistent in his philosophy of every man for himself and abandoning his entire team all the time.
And he just immediately runs away and leaves the group so he can get ported out, and does not take any accountability for the fact he pulled an extra pack and an extra boss.
Now, at this point, seeing how insecure he was, additional information about Pirate's past surfaced that really conflicted with claims he had made publicly. Although he has worked at Blizzard, it was revealed that he was hired due to his father being a high-ranking employee at the company. Furthermore, Pirate didn't really hold a significant position during his time there, despite frequently boasting about his work at Blizzard on his streams. Another revelation involved his claims about earning DEF CON badges for hacking. It was discovered that these badges were awarded to a team he was a part of, not to him personally, although he had taken credit for them. Now, on top of that, Pirate's game Heartbound, which has been in development for nearly a decade, also became a point of contention. Now, Heartbound is basically a spin-off of Undertale. While it's unrelated to the main controversy,
So this is the part that I wanted to get to because we went over the WoW stuff, and now let's go over like his games that have been in development for almost a decade. This game's been for almost a decade, and people have donated so much money to see it come to fruition, and he just keeps putting it off and putting it off, and now I don't think that it's happening at all. So.
frustration arose from his supporters and backers who had funded the project but still had no release after such a long time. For reference, the reason why they were pissed is because the timeline for the Kickstarter they made 7 years ago basically went like this. So in February of 2017, Pirate did a Kickstarter fundraiser for Heartbound with a release date of December 2017, so within the same year. According to an interview, Thor put the funding goal at $5,000 because he knew the money would be raised in 24 hours and a bunch of news sites would pick it up. Then the fundraiser ends on March 26, 2017. On November 1st of 2017, the game was then pushed back to early to mid 2018 because they wanted to make a larger game than was originally planned. They got a bit more ambitious. And people weren't too mad about it. They were like, all right, well, if we get a better project, then, ultimately it is what it is. I'll wait a little longer. But then on February 6th, the wording changed from we were hoping to fully finish and release Heartbound by early to mid 2018 to we are hoping to fully finish and release Heartbound in 2018. So sometime that year instead of early to mid. On October 25th, the wording changed again from we are hoping to fully finish and release Heartbound by early to
Isn't it crazy when something goes from it should be done in a year to hasn't been done in 7 years?
mid 2018 to Heartbound is launching into early access on Steam in December of 2018. Keep in mind at this point we're a year out from when the game was initially meant to be completely released. Eventually, it would actually release in early access on Steam, but from there, the development apparently...
And this makes me upset because unfortunately this is somewhat of a common theme I've seen with some indie developers, and it puts a bad name on indie game developers. It makes me mad because indie games are so much fun, and it's like a good way to be able to support like small creators starting off and people to get their foot in the door and start learning how to develop. And so it's like I hate it that this is something that people do, that they take advantage of this market in this way. It just sucks. But it's gonna happen. Like, people sit on games, and I guess, I mean, it doesn't sound that bad, but it's like so many people have devoted their time and their money into seeing this like happen, trying to support you, and you just completely like take advantage of that, and in turn are also like hurting other people that like those people might not be inclined to support, somebody that has like a really cool game that needs to come out in like the next year and will come out, just needs the another K or something, just needs the $1,000. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you really cared about what you were doing, which you don't, you would have in general more forethought.
Apparently shifted to a full stop in people's eyes. Now, Pirate used the excuse of it being COVID and other complications, but it was starting to become pretty apparent that the game might not be coming out anytime soon. And keep in mind, this was a Kickstarter project with backers donating money to see this game get made. You can still view Heartbound on Steam to this day, but all of the reviews are absolutely brutally negative. With the top review being, honestly, I cannot recommend this game right now. I had originally bought this to support the dev as I'd followed his streams, and he was working on it fairly consistently, or so it seemed. The only dev update this year for this game was a meme post for April Fools. This at the time may have been funny, but now seems pretty out of touch since it was the only 2024 update. Now he barely works on it, if at all, and appears to have changed professions somewhere along the line to being a full-time streamer. The fact that there are multiple threads in the Heartbound Reddit asking if this game is a scam should be a massive warning sign. Stay away until this game comes out of early access and play the demo if you really want to try it. At least then you won't be out any money. Now, if you want a reference for how long this game has taken, Heartbound was announced at the start of the Trump presidency, meaning the first one, and has apparently been worked on through his entire presidency, through him leaving office, through Biden's entire presidency, and now Trump is elected for a second term, and the game is still not done. This criticism has drawn a lot of comparisons between Pirate Software to figures like Yandere Dev, who's someone who basically makes very, very little progress on a super long delayed project, despite receiving direct funding to get it done. So there's really, in people's eyes, no excuse for this game to not be out already. hosts from accessing the game at all. Keep in mind that this would have been at no cost to the developers if the community wanted to host their own servers. But for some dumbass reason, they barred anyone from using the tools to locally host and effectively killed out an entire community full of thousands of people. So Ross's solution to this was to basically require video games sold to customers to be in a reasonably working state at the time of shutdown and end of support. He wanted to prohibit any requirement for video games sold to customers to connect to the publisher or affiliated parties after support ended. And the above would also apply to video games that sold game assets or features like, microtransactions to customers, stuff like that, right? Seems like a pretty cool idea. You can preserve these games that seemingly people would never be able to play again, games that people paid money for, and all at no cost to the developer. People are only doing this after there's no online support anymore from official sources. Well, for some reason, Pirate publicly opposed this initiative, releasing a video response where he insulted Ross, refused to engage with him directly, and deleted Ross's replies to the video.
We're going to pose a problem to you and then shit on your desk and then make you clean it up and figure it out. It's a nail bomb to take out a wasp nest.
Ready? They have ceased to exist.
Require publishers to leave games they have sold to customers in a working state at the time of shutdown.
How are you going to do that with World of Warcraft? Tens of thousands of tickets at Blizzard for private servers for World of Warcraft. And we see this all throughout their FAQ. We see it all across this. It is inflammatory language across the board that is vague. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games. It's a live service game. When we turn the servers off, the game dies, because it's all rendered completely on the server side, and we do that specifically for security reasons, because if it's all rendered client-side, then you'd be able to cheat the game dramatically easy. Of course we keep your money, because you bought the experience, you experienced it, and then the game was over, and eventually the community dies, and we turn the servers off, dude. No. You're gonna kill the entire live service industry by doing that.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
I'm gonna be real with you, I drop the mask entirely. I'd eat shit. I have no games. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. Because the government, as that last poster put so eloquently, it's a nail bomb to take out my entire ass, and it creates a litany of new issues. I shit on your desk and then make you clean it up and figure it out, because I'm Jesus Christ. And we got tens of thousands of nail bombs at Blizzard and yours. That's how live service games work.
When faced with criticism as to why he was shitting on this so hard, Pirate made several live streams doubling and tripling down, only to be proven incorrect over and over. Now, does this sound familiar? The funniest part of all of this is that later down the line, Pirate would launch a video game publishing company with Ludwig. And what was the first game published? Rivals of Aether 2, a live service game that would directly conflict with this initiative to preserve games like this. When people pointed out the fact that he failed to disclose this when he went on his crusade against Stop Killing Games, their posts would get deleted for misinformation, and in one case, have their YouTube video get taken down by Pirate, apparently. As suspicions about Pirate Software's authenticity grew, viewers began reviewing past streams and noticed some inconsistencies with his playthroughs of puzzle games like Animal Well and Outer Wilds. These streams were presented as him solving the puzzles independently. In Animal Well, he managed to solve puzzles that were impossible to complete without external guidance, as they required either collaboration with other players or knowledge of the puzzles further ahead of playing the game. And this raised a lot of doubts about
Okay, so I don't think that he is a team player. He's not a team player, and also he's just shit about like video games or playing games or any of the communities involved with this. He just does it either out of boredom or to make money. So I don't think he gives a fuck. Anyway, that's yeah. I wonder what if Ludwig has said anything since everything's come out. Maybe that might be interesting. No? Does it matter if it's capitalized? No. I don't know. Okay.
Tom, and today
Okay. So I'm not gonna. I don't know. Here's the screen recordings. Hold on. Let's just. Earlier today, a screen recording of one of the cited roleplay conversations due to other being deleted by Pirate Software release. Will this new quote-unquote info bring the case into the light? Yikes. It's getting bad already. It makes me uncomfy, and I don't want to read it. At least it's not like that bad right now. I spoke way too soon on that one. No, absolutely not. Okay, so this is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want the conversations, but you can see he goes to his Discord, he clicks on his profile. Okay. So I'm gonna get that off the screen real quick. um, oh, I have that one already. That's this one. Why do I have that twice? Who knows? So this is Lyric posting. Lyric Wolf is a I will read you Lyric Wolf's wiki. He used to be, or they used to be. Maybe it'll tell me in the wiki their preferred pronouns. That would be nice. That way I don't have to. Okay. An ex-piano YouTuber is how I've seen them described. I do piano arrangements and stuff. That's what they say on their YouTube. We can look, I don't really care. Just don't claim me, Lyric Wolf. They might. They might. I think it's like songs. So yeah, let's not do that. um Yes. Pirate software drama. I see you changed your name. That's probably for the best. Yes, this is the new stuff that's come out with Lyric. We went over this stuff. Just I had Tom go over it. I just wanted it revisited. Ah, get off screen. It's gonna get me demonetized. I just don't know what's on there. Okay, so here's a post from Lyric that says, when I was 20 years old, I've only read one live stream fails about it, or post about it. Okay, so essentially, I can give you a rundown, and it's probably better that I kind of describe it in full anyway before we get started. So essentially, like, you know, he was playing WoW, and this is it. He did it apparently multiple times. It was just he abandoned everybody, and they were playing like the hardcore mode WoW, and then his friends, like two of his friends, lost their accounts forever. And then they weren't friends anymore, which makes sense. And then another one, he hypocritically trashed this like site that was like trying to bring back old games and like give them a haven, and then every time people told him that was incorrect, he got pissy, essentially, like usual. I think he's a nice guy. He comes off like a douchebag, but overall, he's a nice guy. I know very little about him. I think that I used to think his YouTube shorts and stuff were funny. I think it's cool that his dad's the guy from South Park. That's funny. Yeah. The WoW drama, I feel like everybody knows about. Anyway. They said, when I was 20 years old, Jason Thorhall, aka Pirate Software, age 31 at the time, emotionally abused and manipulated me for sexual and financial gain. Thor's actions have had a severe impact on my life, causing me to give up being a uni student and a creator. Now, regardless on whether Pirate, if he didn't do anything specifically to cause that feeling, then it's not, then that's one thing. But if that is true, and even just like them being in a toxic or mutually toxic relationship has made this person not want to commit to university, and it severely negatively impacted their life. That is unfortunate and that's sad. You got banned from his chat for typing manage him. That's funny. Did you watch the Pirate Software interview with Dr. K? It's pretty good. No. What do they talk about? The which part of it? Cuz I kept trying to find Pirate Software's response, like the video. I found Okay. Well, I'll still look at it cuz I'm interested in the other stuff too. They talk about the World of Warcraft stuff. Well, I'll still watch it. I might watch it in this. Here in a minute. Ah, get off the screen. Okay. Which I we'll get into it. Where is my oh, okay. Thank you. Somebody said oh, Strange Mammal said what's manage him. Not somebody who's strange. Where is the okay, there it is. The link is in. It's right there. That's the link I needed. It's right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and watch this link.
Push. Welcome to another Healthy Gamer GG stream. My name is Dr. Alok Kanoja. Just a reminder that although I am a medical doctor, nothing I discuss on stream today.
Sorry.
Okay, hope it was worth it for you.
I'm looking at the high points right now. I'll rewatch it.
So this was live on stream, right?
Yeah, all of it was.
I love this function. I wish they did it with every video. It pisses me off that they don't. Well, I mean, I know they can't. Like they can't do it with my streams because they don't get enough engagement or views. Like they do it with videos that have like so many, and I don't understand why they don't do it with all of them because it's so convenient. And chapters is so convenient. So here's the thing is I can start doing it, but the only reason I will start doing it because it's, I should be doing it anyway. But I have to type out all of the timestamps in my description of the video. And for me, I guess it's because where my channel is at right now, it doesn't translate to the actual video. Like the timestamps fortunately come up blue, and you can go and you can click on the timestamps and go to that point in the video. So I'll still do that, but it was disheartening when I was like, oh, it doesn't make chapters. That sucks. That's sad.
It was live. Absolutely.
And so
Sorry, I got way off track. Thank you for getting me back on pirate software. Okay. A lot of people got mad at pirate during the WoW thing, banning thousands and thousands of people for little. I saw that. I've heard just in general he's not very good with criticism. I don't know how true that is. What is this random link up here? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I've heard that he just doesn't take. He doesn't like being criticized very well, and from what I've seen, that seems to ring true most of the time. He just doesn't. Like, even in the video we just watched, he was talking to the people that he abandoned, that he addendumed, and um, he hung up on that guy mid-sentence and was like, I don't have to listen to this shit, beep. It's like, alright, that's childish, dude, calm down.
it was also Live who made the call to run?
Yes. Yeah, he made the call to run.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what they're talking about. See, isn't this function so nice?
Okay, so it sounds like here's the hate raid that you're talking about. Okay. So, thank you so much for...
And we expected, and that's why I wrote in there, I was like, those trying to defend me, don't worry about it. We expected that to last like maybe 10 days. The internet generally doesn't care about things a super long period of time. 100 days?
Yeah,
still
so
people in chat like spamming and getting banned, and like that's wild.
This is you were right. This is wild. So we're gonna like try to understand this. Okay, so God, this is gonna be tough. Okay, so let me start with this. So let's say that
he should have used that item when he abandoned them. Yes, he could have used. Yeah, he could have used his. Yeah, he had. From my understanding, I don't play WoW, but I kind of get how it works a little bit, but not really. Yeah, he had full mana, and which he could have used to. He could have used it to save them essentially, and I mean, yeah, is he? Yeah, he just left. He just left them while they were like in like mid fight. Like he did he Leroy Jenkins in the opposite direction. He just ran. So on stream, which is so funny. It's like you got people watching you. That is funny. Yeah. That he kicked it. That he banned him for just saying mana gem is so funny. Yeah. He seems. I don't know. Like, I really, like you said, like, he seems like an alright guy. But, like, he does not seem, open to criticism. Yeah. No other streamer has done anything close to that. That's what I'm saying. It's so crazy to do that on the stream. That's insane to me.
let's say that you do something, right? Let's say you take an action in life. In the response, would you agree that the response that you are getting is disproportionate to the actions that you've taken?
My legs are going numb.
I would absolutely agree with that.
Okay. So let's
doesn't mean I was in the right.
Oh, yeah,
mean I
that
was in
part
the
is
right.
also insane. That's more insane, you're right. I mean, that's so. And bring it up. I promised myself I'm not going to talk about H3. I was just going to talk about how. No, it doesn't matter. It's not really about them. It's about Willie, but. No, that's nuts. Especially over something like that. Like, excuse me. This sounds mean. Can you just grow the fuck up a little bit? Like, that's just a lot for. Like, you left them, dude. And then you're gonna get so mad at people. And even if they're just trolling, yeah. Yeah. It's not great. It, he he's just kind of like a dick in all of his responses from what I saw. Uh Even in this 3-hour interview with the psychologist, he doesn't really understand why people hate him. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because like I was saying earlier, I feel like he had to have known that like running away was like not the move, right? Because even in one of the clip when he does it, you can see it on his face that he's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get fucked up for that." Like maybe I read too much into it. He does seem very robotic.
Was in the right,
I'm-
but I do think the response is disproportionate.
I'm with you. Okay, so I'm gonna
But I
start
don't-
by, huh?
I don't think it's disproportionate
My
on an
knees.
individual level, to be clear. I think each person individually that responds with that thinks that they're the only one responding with it, or that they don't feel like it's that big of a deal because it's just one person and they don't understand scale.
Okay, so I concur with that too. So let's start with a couple of like really basic things. So the first is I do not believe this is a judgment that I'm making. You're welcome to disagree, but I think the majority of people who are on the internet, I would hope, can agree that something
That one I just think's funny. He could be faking his voice. He's like, no, I don't have a voice changer. I can just change the register of my voice. I didn't hear of anybody accusing you specifically of having a voice changer. I'm pretty sure the accusation was that you physically change your voice. So he's like, yes, I do that. What do you mean? It is just funny in general, yeah. What is this link? Oh, okay.
Went back to the doctor. Doctor's like, hey,
Yeah,
sometimes in
thank
your
you.
early 30s,
I love this clip. Thank you.
your voice can change as a man, and it's effectively second puberty. This is what I used to sound like. That's what I used to look like to this 5 years ago. Wait for this. This is all.
Look at this fucking loser down here that looks exactly the same.
My hot dogs are freshly picked. I'm gonna have to peel it. I'm gonna have to peel my hot dog.
Yeah, that was it, dude.
Every good hot dog needs to be peeled.
Went back to the doctor. Doctor's like, hey, sometimes in your early 30s, your voice can change as a man, and it's effectively second puberty.
Like, he's like, you guys, I mean, you just sound different. You do sound different, but to say that he's acting like he looks so much worse than he looks the same. That clip is so funny to me.
30s, your voice can change as a man, and it's effectively second puberty. This is what I used to sound like. That's what I used to look like to this 5 years ago. Wait for this. This is awful.
My hot dogs are freshly picked. I'm gonna have to peel it. I'm gonna have to peel my hot dog.
Yeah, that was it, dude.
Every good.
Yeah, like, okay. Fuck. When did where did I see that? I know where I saw it. Fuck, yes, I know where I saw it. Oh my god. I love it when I don't fucking forget about clips I need. Okay. Alright, so before I forget, oh my god. Response. I need the one where he has conveniently chaptered it. Is it this one? Yeah.
I don't understand the term, and Nepa Baby is.
Yeah, it's even titled voice changer. Dude, I don't think those were the allegations, my man. I think the allegations were that you could talk like this, and this is how you, like, comfortably feel talking, but you actually talk like this because it makes you sound more manly. I think that was the allegation, my man. Even though it's silly. It's silly. fact that what makes it sillier is that you argue against it.
Nepotism for him. And now for the next one. People saying that I'm using a voice changer. I can actually just control the vocal range of my voice. Just go like this and talk all the way down to the bottom of your vocal range. This isn't that hard. Then you go like this all the way up into your nose and talk like this. Amazingly, people's voices change over time, and they do this at different ages as you go through life. On top of this, streaming and talking for 12 hours.
I understand he's saying that his voice changed with time, but why are you starting out with like, people can just change the way their voices sound? It's like, yeah, that's what people are saying. And also, you said he uses bass on his mic, which is a bass booster. Is that what you said? Yeah, bass boost. That's funny. That makes sense to me too. You can hear it now that I think about it.
12 hours a day doesn't make that any easier or better. Outside of this, you can actually
Doesn't make that easier or better.
catch me on a bunch of other content creators' channels.
You can hear it. He just sounds more relaxed with his new voice, but it's obvious he uses bass booster. Yeah, you
I
can
went and
hear
did a tailgate party with Esfand in real life.
People can change their voices. That is what people say that you did? Question mark? I don't know. That part, I don't know. I could be. And it doesn't matter, but the fact that you... it gives it credence. It gives such a silly thing that has no credence whenever you act offended and argue against it. And so that makes it 10 times funnier. Ah! I am gonna mess up. I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't know. How NSFW is it? Is it... like, it gets descriptive, but I don't know if it says any, like, really bad stuff. Like, bad... it says bad stuff, but I don't know if it says any bad words, necessarily. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty gross, though. I mean, in terms of... me just not wanting to read it. To each their own. If you're into that kind of thing, you do you, boo. But I don't want to read it. Here I am reading it. I'm not gonna read it. Uh-oh, for furries. Yeah. To each their own, dude. I don't care. I mean... especially, I guess, some people really do just like to dress up, like, in the costumes and, like... but, like, even if it's more than that for you, you do you. I just don't like to read about it aloud. I feel like that's understandable. Really, just, like, any kink. Anybody's... any... I don't even want to read 50 Shades of Grey on here, dude. Like, I don't want to... no. Or, like, the teeny bopper books that are, like... I can't. Like, even... it's just... and it reads like that, almost. It reads like a horny Reddit post. It's like, and he put his hand on my chest. It's like... I don't want to read that, dude. That gives me the willies. I hate it. I hate it. And it's not when it's like, and it's like, just like here. Like, it's not even sexual necessarily. It's just like, but it's like, you know? I just don't want to hear about it. Cause you know where it's going to, and it just grows. I really think it was like something like that. It was like he put his hand on my knee or my elbow, you know, and it's like I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about the degenerate elbow touching, you know. I avoided the F out of that. Yeah. I'm so afraid that I'm going to accidentally... I probably should just exit out of the link. Because I'm so afraid that I'm going to click on the link and then something's going to show up. But I don't think there's anything specifically in these set of screen grabs that are that bad. So we might be good to even just watch it. Possibly. Here's like pirate software. It's... just don't look. but it's not. It's fine. Also, um, yes, I see. I hear no evil. I see no evil. Okay. So serious mode, because if these, I don't know, if what he's alleging, I suppose, like him emotionally and financially abusing him, if that's real, or them, yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I don't know for sure. If that is real, that he did that to them, then ah 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 oh God, everything's messed up. Then it is very unfortunate, very serious. I just really feel like I'm looking at something I shouldn't be when I'm reading their messages, though. Okay. Um. When I was 20 years old, Jason Thorhall, aka Pirate Software, age 31 at the time, emotionally abused and manipulated me for his own sexual and financial gain. Thor's actions have severely impacted my life, causing me to give up being a university student and content creator. This website details our interaction, how he manipulated me, and how I was coerced into silence. After I was silenced in 2019, I tried to forget about that experience. However, I started to see Thor's resurgence on online platforms, and I decided to write a Google Doc about my experience with Thor. At first, I was going to point out his hypocrisy when he accused me of cheating on him when I roleplayed with somebody else. I documented each conversation, putting together my traumatic experience bit by bit. Well, good for you. It's hard. I do appreciate when people can do that. I can't um like how I make these documents. I don't know if I could do that with my own experiences and my own trauma. So I think people are strong if they can do that for themselves. You know what I mean? Tell their own story in that way. I can't. So um bit by bit in a way I did not previously comprehend. Maybe it just takes time then. Over time, it evolved into this website. Oh my God. With all the trolling being done at him, I honestly think he's a respectful dude, and maybe just this Twitter person is clout farming. I'm just speculating. I mean, here's the thing: is that the that could be true. Um, they definitely had some sort of relationship, though. I think that it's like the Discord screenshots, everything, all the evidence, seems to line up now. Um, Now if you can be the judge of like whether actual, or we all can figure it out together if we want or try to, whether actual abuse took place, within their relationship. But I think it is proven that they were together at one point. Kind of like, I think a really good example of that is like to wait and find out is the Einauber girl. Whenever Einauber's girlfriend accused him of being emotionally abusive, and you really just had to, read her own document, and the farther you got into it and the farther you figured out the story, you realized that it was pretty unfounded allegations, and um, well, here's the thing: is that a lot of people say specifically, and we'll watch an interview with why do I keep forgetting? Lyric Wolf. Somebody interviewed Lyric Wolf, so we'll watch that interview, and they say themselves And here's the thing is that I don't know how I believe. I don't want to discount anybody that's saying they're a victim until I've made my own conclusions. You know what I mean? I don't want to put them down until I've assessed the situation fully, if that makes sense. Um, so, but I'm not saying you are. You are not. Um, I just want to be careful about, yeah, I just want to be careful myself. So, what was I saying? Oh, they have an interview that we're gonna watch where they say that a lot of people talk about how, um, you, they say that they agree that it's a nothing burger, quote unquote, that it's a big nothing burger. So, or they say they could see how people could see that this is a big nothing burger. And then it's like, then, in my opinion, that's when I start to maybe possibly change my mind. My mind is still open. Or not change my mind, but form an opinion. You know what I mean? Because, and it's different for everybody too, is the thing. So, like, trauma responses are different for everybody. Um, but it's like, if you could see how this could be taken as like something that doesn't matter that much, but it's like clearly it matters to you, and you need to stand on that. You know what I mean? You need to be like, people are saying that, but this is my trauma and it is important. Downplaying it is not. That doesn't. That's not. If anything, even. I mean, it's just gonna help detractors. So I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. That's just gonna help people form the already negative opinions that they want to form about you. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, do do do, Green Giant. Oh my God, what did I just do? Um, I feel like I'm not this far down. Yet. No, it's literally the first sentence. Oh my God. Okay. So that's an interesting allegation. Coerced into silence. I might write that down. Like everything that they are accusing him of specifically. I saw something about taken advantage of financially, which implies that he somehow conned them out of money or something like that. Let's see how they put it. Is it in this one? For financial gain. Okay. I've been watching a lot of the Diddy court documents, so I'm very much so in the mindset of examining all the specific allegations. Um, do I have Pirate's Twitter response to this? I couldn't find it. I have this. This is what I have. Hold on, I'll show you. I have somewhat of his response. Thank you. I have this, which is an article, I believe, about his response. I would assume that his response on Twitter. I do have it. Thank you. I think this is it, if you want to confirm for me. I'll leave it on the screen. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for looking. I appreciate that. I'm better at this than I thought. Look, I have it. So proud of myself. Okay. Well, I was so proud. Yeah, it is. Or at least one of them. Oh, wow, it's long. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna read that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So they said they were coerced into silence, which is interesting. So if that's true, depending on how they were coerced, that could be serious. Um, so for them to like make serious allegations and then to be like, but I can understand how people could see this as a nothing burger. It's like you're making serious claims. You should stand behind them if you know what I mean, if you mean them. But again, people respond to trauma differently. I don't know. After I was silenced in 2019, I tried to forget about that experience. However, I started to see Thor's resurgence on online platforms. I decided to write a Google Doc about my experience with Thor. At first, I was going to point out his hypocrisy. Okay, so I did read that. Okay, girl. I got you. Oh, my laptop's about to die. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, it's only noon in the morning. Calm down. Don't be that tired. Okay. Mm, okay. So this is our first, extended link. This is a lot. I guess it's not as much as I thought it was. Okay. So he accused this person of cheating because they roleplayed with somebody else. I documented each conversation. Okay. It said, okay, trigger warning. Can I not click on it? Would be a link. Okay. So it's like, what, a footnote? Yeah, it's a footnote. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. On my YouTube channel, I would upload piano transcriptions of my music, video games, among them indie games such as Undertale. Okay. In February 2018, I would transcribe and publish a track from Thor's game, Heartbound. We'd started talking shortly after, with our conversations mostly revolving around copyright and content creation. On August 26, 2018, I would make a large donation of $800 to Thor while he was streaming the development of his game. From that moment onward, Thor suddenly expressed immense romantic interest in me. Okay. Okay. Like, what a way to put it. Um, on the next day, August 22nd, or August 27th, excuse me, Thor would unprovoked initiate erotic roleplay with me. Our quote unquote love would continue to blossom. He started to shower me with affection, praise, and attention, making me feel special and valued. Love bombing. However, when I was when I would express any reluctance to commit to him and solely to him, he would shame me by calling me corrupt or clueless. Oh. I told him repeatedly I was not interested in a committed relationship. Thor insisted I change my mind, not taking no for an answer. Okay. Among the tactics he employed, trying to gaslight me into believing that I was already um, implicitly committed to him by virtue of having no love interest in my life. Okay, so you were implicitly committed to him by virtue of having no other people that you were in love with. Okay. Man, this is getting muddy already. And also, we'll talk about it, but, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. Anyway, let's keep reading though. Because, like, I know what love bombing is. I've experienced it. I know what emotional manipulation is. You know, it's like, what they're describing is, we'll get into it. After he manipulated me into asking him to date me, what? He manipulated you into asking you to date him. Okay. Okay. Do you... How did he manipulate you by, like, insistently saying that here's the thing. If you're talking about your boundary, you guys were just clearly at an impasse then. You guys just shouldn't have been together if what I'm understanding is the truth. Is like, because right now it just sounds like you're both just asserting your boundaries. It sounds like Thor, you know, as much as I think he's what he did to his WoW teammates, it's like I don't think he should be accused of something that he didn't do, especially like this. So Thor, it's just so far, is what I'm saying. Like getting out. I don't know. Stated his boundaries that he was only comfortable being in a non-polyamorous committed relationship, and you stated that you were only comfortable in a polyamorous relationship. So doesn't that mean that you guys just shouldn't be together? Like that's what I'm thinking. Like you're at an impasse. One person is just that's just who you are. Like one person's not gonna give. So I don't know. Um, I don't know if that means that because he stated his boundaries just like you stated your because like he could flip it and be like they tried to manipulate me into polyamory, which is something I was not comfortable with, and um, do you know what I mean? Like it's either way. I feel like it's not really. You guys were just clearly wanting two completely different things from your relationship. Okay, so using gaslighting in an interesting way too. When I told him repeatedly I was not. So, among tactics he employed, he tried to gaslight me into believing I was already implicitly committed to him. And there's screenshots. Alright, so you're not a sex crazed skis. You're an awkward dumbass who knows what words mean and actually wants to be with me, but has loose ends with people online and only online. Right or wrong? Right, W, and then what, a sad cutesy face? Is that what that is? Alright, with that in mind, I'm good with being with you at TwitchCon, and more than that. Take the time you need to tie up your loose ends, and that stuff isn't hard unless you were dating them in secret. Oh my god, my contact. And don't know what to do now. A simple, hey, I'm seeing someone, I can't. If they come onto you is pretty much all it takes. They said, nod, nod. I feel really dumb. Why? Because, like, I threw you my contact. Because, like, I threw you a trip and I didn't know how to words. This person needs to get on their serious pants. Pirate's, like, trying to actually have a conversation with them. Where? He's the gray, right? I think. Yeah. So, he's trying to actually. Oh, fuck. Thank God. That was hurting so bad. He's trying to actually have a conversation with them about their relationship. Like, I would say pretty maturely in this instance, which is something that I wouldn't usually say about pirate software. But, um, are we good? Oh. Okay. I threw a whole I threw you a whole trip because I didn't know how to words. Yes, you did. I'm sorry. Huff, nuzzle. They talk to each other in an infuriated way. I don't like it. They're both accused of being cringe in my book. You are one frustrating doggo, let me tell you. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I feel like I shouldn't be reading this right now. This feels so intimate. And I shouldn't. This isn't for my eyes. Oh god. Is this him? It doesn't matter. Whatever people want to do. I'm not judging. It's just, it's hard to read. Okay. Because it just feels like it's not for my eyeballs to be seen. Because it's not. Oh my god. Okay. He said, you're one frustrating doggo, let me tell you. This is a hard read. Nuzzles back, bites your shoulder. Is that like ooh ooh? Is that what that is? They said ooh ooh. Some might call me a masterpiece. Stop it. This is horrible. No, this is ooh ooh. They did say it once. What is this? What is the W? I don't want to know. I don't think I. Meh. I don't think I need to know. It's fine. Alright. Some might call me a masterpiece. And then a little picture of a pupper. More puppers. Dude. Where is the emotional What did she say? Gaslight into thinking that they were already in a committed relationship. When does that come in? Because right now they're just sending each other furry dog memes. So he said, "Alright, so now that we've discussed literally everything, what exactly is your plan with me, and what are you going to do?" I literally think he's just asking to set up some boundaries, it seems like. That's reasonable, that's fair, and that's what you. Yep. Okay. I don't want any more surprises. Boundary set. I don't mean to surprise you. Be serious right now. Stop with the little faces. Stay on target. Thank you. They said right. Okay, and now they get. Well, if you could have been the serious the whole time, you were the one that's like manipulating, kind of being manipulative. Like you were trying to be like, oh, let's just be cutesy and silly and like not talk about like how I don't want to commit to you and like just you know what I mean? Like I don't want to talk about that because I'm uncomfortable with it. And even though we should talk about it and talk about our differences and talk about how I don't want to commit to you is a weird. Well, that is the truth. They're not ready for commitment, but again, if that is their boundary that they are setting, that is fine. But they have two completely different boundaries that they're setting that make their relationship impossible. You know what I mean? Okie doke. They said, I dot 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 am not ready for commitment dot dot dot. I promised a friend I would stay out of a relationship for a year. Different friend than who I erped with, mind you. Alright, keep going. I want to go to TwitchCon with you still, exclamation point. You seem to want to hook up at TwitchCon. Is this the case or not? They said I wouldn't be opposed. And then he said, so you want a sexual relationship with me, IRL, but not be committed. And then you don't want, and then they said that, then they sent this face. And then he said, you don't want to have IRL. With anyone else, right? And they also said yes. Smacks your head. So, what? I think pirate is gay. Or like fluid or poly, or not poly, but pansexual. Apparently. Oh, gray. Yes, gray. I don't know why I read gay. Although this person this person could, I don't know how they identify again, so I'm pretty sure pirate is the gray. Because remember they said, hold on. Yeah, they said Thor says you're already committed. So what they're saying is, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. He's being actually very nice here. He's playing around with her, or with them. I don't know why I said her. With them, it being very silly. Okay, so they said you don't want to have IRL sex stuff with anyone else, right? They said yes. Said smacks your head. They said that face. He said that's the same thing as being in a committed relationship, you dingus. Why are you like this? That's not being, I'm sorry, that's not abusive. Moving on. Next. You know what I mean? What? Thor says close friends aren't real. Also, what does close friends mean? Close friends as in friends but close. Wow, that sucks. I mean, just mean friends. Yeah, oh, glad to see that that made no sense. It didn't make any sense. That's what I was about to say. Sometimes I just need some sense knocked into me. Ugh. Sorry. you seem you seem to answer stuff in really weird ways. I'm on pirate side, I think. Because what is this? What actually is this? Hmm. Because, yeah, they do. They keep trying to turn it. Everything has to be. Which, in my opinion, is a little manipulative, and that's also a manipulation tactic. Um, if you didn't know, you know, I'm just speaking in generally. I'm not speaking specifically, but if anybody wasn't aware, that is a manipulation tactic to um be taking serious conversations that have to do with somebody else's emotions and feelings when they're being um, vulnerable with you and trying to connect with you. And you are trying to avoid that personal connection at all costs, and you just want to use them physically. You just divert every conversation, everything to something sexual. And that's what this kind of feels like to me at times. Why would. I don't know. Just what I'm getting so far. Is that is that like um do you think that's fair? Or I don't want to be unfair to this person, but that's just kind of what's where I'm getting at right now. But pirate is the gray, right? Because this would be screenshots from their side. Mine's in light mode, but still. Yeah, he's gray. This seems weird to me. Sorry, I don't know why I read that like that. I think I was just very distracted by these messages. Okay, oh, my leg. He says that you seem to answer things in really weird ways. They say, I don't mean to. He says, in your terms, close friends just sounds like an open relationship. They say, not what I meant, since I believe that's out of the question. He said, yeah, I wouldn't be into that. For me, it's like just focus on being sexual with one person at a time. And any more than that, you can't give them the attention that they deserve anyway. Well, it could be different for them, but I think that he's saying, for me, you know, saying that he's just still asserting his boundaries, saying I wouldn't be into that. For me personally, not saying that has to be like this for you, but for me, I think he's doing a fine job of explaining himself. This person's the one being wishy-washy, in my opinion, and strange. Just in these couple texts that we've seen. I understand. That seems to make the most sense too. But yeah, if you're still um have active stuff with others, no cuddling stuff at TwitchCon with me. Partially because it feels bad, partially because it's dangerous health-wise. That's a fair point. Can be, can be. They're not being protected, all that stuff. Anyway. Thor defends commitment for Lyric. That's the same as being in a committed relationship. Why are you like this? So this conversation continues. I just want you to keep erping with your... I just don't want you to keep... What? You just want to keep erping with your friend online, don't you? But I wasn't going to have IRL actual stuff with other people either way. Well, I didn't know that until you revealed you don't know how to words. Yes, just sometimes. Okay. Sometimes you are wording, so that's why I'm like, is that the case? Why is this so important that you keep erping with him? I care a lot about him, but like, are you in love with him? I said I wouldn't marry him or anything, but also, no. You, me. You're legit giving me the guy he tells you not to worry about situation here. Like, you want to be with me, you're saying you love me, you want to keep erping with this dude on the side? You're the one, you're one asking is pretty weird when if you want to say the entire truth about them. My goodness. This is a lot, huh? Okay. Duh. I can't make sense of that. I don't know what I'm missing. Well, I did also tell you that I would stop. Well, then that, why is it a demand now? It's not, did I demand it? Because I didn't mean to if I did. So far, it's either you get to erp with that dude or we can't be together. Well, then that go... Well, then, no, not really, because they want to not, because they don't want to be committed and you do, was the thing. They want a completely different relationship. These people just need to leave each other alone. You're not made for each other. You need to find somebody that wants the same things you do. It's just that simple. That's not the case, and what is it? The case is, I'm not ready for commitment. I'm not sure what that means specifically. I'm sure you want me to explain. Yes. Since you want to have an actual relationship with me and not anyone else, literally is committing. So what? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really just tripping on the words, I think. What do you think commitment is? Like a relationship? No. What do you think it is? Don't describe it with other titles. I think it's a relationship. Oh. I literally, I guess literally it would mean staying faithful through everything. That would imply that it's okay to cheat if something happens, and it's not. So what do you mean faithful through everything? Okay. Yeah, that's not... Yeah, no, that's not marriage, my dude. All right, let me break it down for you. A relationship, it can be anything from dating to marriage. Oh. I don't know if I care about this part. Yeah, he's just describing dating to them. Unless you're into that open relationship, etc. Right now, I'm like, hey, you want to date? You're like, no, I don't want to get married, and I'm also fucking this other guy online. They said, well, I don't want to get married. He said, bigger guns. He said, now do you see what you're saying? Makes no sense. Look, to be real, this is stupid. Either way, you have no idea of how any type of human interaction works, this kind of thing, or you're playing with me because you just want to keep fucking your friend and don't know what to do. We've gotten involved. Now that we've gotten involved with each other, they said, it's super hard for me to believe that you have legit no idea how any of this works at the age of 20. So I think the main problem is that this person immediately thought it's like, well, if I just if I just point out the age gap, like people will understand that it's like, and it is a weird power dynamic, including the age gap and like, but you're an adult and you know, you're an adult at that point. That's pretty much it. I mean, there is a power dynamic with, for multiple reasons. Him being pirate software, creates a weird power dynamic, and then you being a smaller creator, you being 11 years younger than him, but it's not illegal, and it's really not. I mean, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. I think that's an opinion thing. All right. Like I said, I would stop for you. I asked you to stop, and you said you wouldn't. Well, oh. What? When did I say I wouldn't? This whole time you've been saying you're going to continue doing stuff with him and you didn't want to commit to me. Literally this whole time. Okay, I think there's a misunderstanding here. I don't know if I'm like looking. Does that word make sense? I'm really not super great at the terminology. I don't know what makes any difference that they are with someone. Yeah, it makes a difference. Why are you making it hard on us to do stuff with a person who's already got someone? I'm not trying to make it hard on us. Regardless, this is making things hard. His mate knows that the herb isn't me trying to get with them or anything. Then what's the point? I guess there's no point. Boy, you gotta get your priorities straight. Is that all? Is that all of them? Are we done? Are we done? No. We're almost done though. I want to spend more time together moving forward. You seem to pull back a bit. School has been really beating me up. Honest, but I'll try harder for you. You seem interested, and then suddenly not. Sorry, I really don't know what to say. I've been a lot busier. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. No means yes. What do you implying here? Are you saying you're interested in a casual thing with me, but not serious? I'm attracted to you, but I'm not ready for commitment yet. So, sexual stuff with me. Like, just want to be friends or close friends, you know? Question is important. Okay, don't say no means yes. That implies something completely different. If the situation yeah, that 20-year-old is acting like they are mature enough. Yeah, they are. I agree. They're acting like they know what's going on. Okay. This is like way worse than I thought it was gonna be. Like in the opposite direction. I didn't really expect. I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna be. Yeah. I was trying to keep an open mind, but I knew that I was pretty much gonna feel this way, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this. Like, what the fuck? So if the situation with me being one of the multiple things, friends with benefits thing, I just wouldn't be into it. I understand. Does that change any of your answers? Yes. I want to be friends or close friends. I just think I'm not ready for commitment right quite yet. Okay, well. Okay, thank you. I'm interested in this. This is when we get into the financial abuse allegations. Let's see. Sad puppy. You can see here a picture of a sad puppy. And he says, "You've said a lot of wild shit since we've met. That is accurate. You said you love me. You said you would give me your entire savings. You wanted to live with me. You wanted to be my forever. And now you're talking about hookups, though they weren't hookups. And how you want to keep erping with a dude online despite him being with someone and not being okay for me. And it not being okay for me and stopping us from moving forward." I mean, we already know some of the things, or some of the items in the list are exactly what Thor wants. You love me. You wanted to live with me. I recall Thor Perspade's lyrics on this. It's not lyrics, though, an idea. You wanted to be with me forever. And then this item was thrown right here in the middle. You would give me your entire savings. That's like a weird thing to throw out. Girl. I don't know if it means all that, girl. Calm down. Doesn't that seem a little strange? Usually, this is not what people fixate on. If you said you loved me and that you wanted to be my forever and that you would give me all your money. I mean, no, it's not, I guess, but just seems a little unsettling to me. Sure, that's just speculation. Let's explore this for a moment. Do you have more than that, Please tell me you have more than that. Thor is referring to a single message that Lyric sent. That one night I asked you how much to make Heartbound free. I was thinking about dumping my entire savings into it, but what I have is nowhere compared to what those companies offered you. Hmm. This was only mentioned in conversation. So they were saying that this is when they're saying they wanted to donate all their money to the game, to Heartbound. Lyric staying up for Thor even though they have 8 a.m. classes. Lyric acting like a pet. If you weren't ready to date, you wouldn't be trying to date me. At TwitchCon, you big ass baby. That's funny. I think we should bring back calling people big ass babies. That's funny to me for some reason. You big ass baby. His game on stream reviews. How's how is Heartbound doing? Oh, that doesn't seem bad. Heartbound looks fun. I would play it. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. Wanting to die. Reading this. This is awful. Like, and not like in the normal way. It's just like a lot. Like, it's just not it's not even a lot. It's just to process. It's just like, you know. It feels like my brain's melting. This person's kind of like the conversation they're having is insufferable. What they're talking about is not for my eyes, for one, and for two, for me it doesn't allege abuse. So like, yeah, again, why am I reading it? Why are you making me read this? Now I have a personal resentment because you told me this was something it wasn't, and now I've wasted my fucking time. If you weren't ready to date, you wouldn't be trying to date me and be with me at TwitchCon. You big ass baby, so funny. I just wouldn't be able to give you the time you deserve. What does that even mean? I'm a double time student. I'm not just a total mess right now in terms of responsibilities. I'm just a total mess right now in terms of responsibilities. I don't know how I can handle more stress. I was infatuated with you when we first met. When we first met? Yes. I was obsessed, really. Especially when you said you wanted to voice call every day. That made me really happy. Voice calls mean a lot to me. What changed? From my side, it changed when you started, in your words, flirting around. With time, I became more and more scared of what you think of me. Especially when you said that you wanted to slow down and it was just passing commitment. But I have to hit this again. playing a game with myself when every time I want to stop reading this and watch something about aliens, I take a hit of my um fog machine. YouTube TOS. Um oh my god. Especially when you said you wanted to slow down. Maybe it's just passing him in, I guess I could say it started a little more. So you were going too fast. Why wouldn't I say something? I mean, there's tons of shit that I noticed and never said anything about. I guess I started being a lot more self-conscious. Yeah, he was just stating. Yeah, you said that you were uncomfortable with something and that's probably when I started losing interest. It's like you guys just shouldn't be together. You want different things. That's what it is. And also, his mate knows. Also, stop it. Stop erping with. He's got a mate. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Whoever. I guess polyamory is just out of my wheelhouse. If you know, you do you. It's not for me to. Moving on. I don't think I should. I just feel like it's not for me to comment on because like I just don't. It's not for me. But I'm sure that there are some people, somebody I've never seen it, but I'm sure there's somebody it works for. To each their own, I suppose. Um, Not for me though. This mate knows that the ERP isn't me trying to get with them or anything. That is so crazy. Quit ERPing with other people's significant others. Um, I mean, there's tons of things I noticed that you never said anything about. I'm not saying it's your fault. Like your Telegram profile, I agree with what you said. A canine's gotta get. A canine's got the keys to my heart. Mm. It's pretty weird thing to put out there if you're single. Oh yeah, you're right. It's weird. I guess you would like me to explain it? Alright, I'll take that as a yes. Yeah. I'm driving. Give me a hot sec. Basically, to clarify, I'm single, I'm not looking, and also added that in my bio as a stunt with one of my friends. It was literally because we thought it'd be funny. It was not indicative of a relationship. Yeah. Night, napping before stream. Have a good rest. I'll be around. That game looks really fun. Also, I'm going to bed now. Good night. Night. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I don't have to go through anything else after this stuff, I don't think. I don't even think I have to go through the abandonment and dating. I'm tired of this. Grandpa. Insert holes meme. This is me right now. I will look this shit up. It's worth it. One sec. Here, there we go. This is
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
That's lyrics in Pirate.
Well, excuse me.
Thank me one day.
Stanley, Neil, Nats. I love Holes, it's so good. That's me. I'm tired of reading that. I feel like we got the gist, no? Or should we do the abandonment stuff? I mean, we read, that was literally, did you see that there was only one screenshot from the financial abuse section? What the fuck was that? What do you even mean? That was like that was the only part I was really even interested in because I was like, okay, so that might hold some credence. No. What was that? Come on, dude. Okay. Let's read his response before I get completely tired of this whole thing. Alright. So is it clout farming? I feel like it's clout hopping. It's like hopping on the bandwagon, but here's the thing. This might be a hot. I mean, here's just what I don't know. I don't agree with it, so it's not a hot take because I don't agree with it. But here's what it could be. Okay, putting my tinfoil hat on for a sec. Here's what it could be. Yeah, like a little bit. Here's what I think it is. So I don't think that they want to be like labeled as like. How do I get this? Okay, so like a good example would be Bo Blacks or fuck. What was the kid, the Twitch streamer that everybody loved? It turned out he was like a porn star and then nobody was like mad about it. Everybody supported him. Fuck. Who was that? Sketch. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was Sketch. Oh my gosh, that was gonna kill me. Thank you so much. Okay, so Sketch is a good example because okay. I feel like he was trying to be like they were trying to be like let's add to the pile-on and they they knew that people would attach to the story for one reason or another. And I think that unfortunately the reason that they went the abuse route was so that they wouldn't be labeled like a bigot for like judging him for having the same kinks that they clearly also have that they engaged with him on. Does that even make any sense? You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like it's just he couldn't outright like make fun of him for this and be like people will definitely attach themselves to the story and I can definitely like get a boost from this. And so they instead chose to. And I feel like it's also probably an internal self-cup a little bit too. Like they're like, why do I even want to call this person out? And it's like they hurt me. Let's figure out how they hurt me. And it's like they didn't. Well, you know, it's like I feel like you're attributing a lot to something that didn't happen simply because you want a reason to do this. You know. It could be like that. I could be like completely wrong. I don't even know if that makes any sense. Um. Because, like, regardless of whether people, like, will be like, yeah, do you, this is fine, there's always gonna be, other than with Sketch, I really don't think there was anybody with Sketch, but I feel like there's always gonna be somebody that's like, weird, furry, you know what I mean? Weirdo, weirdo. And, like, this person knew that that was gonna happen. To Pirate more than them, you know? Pirate's already, his Dr. K interview is about the WoW stuff was good. Maybe we do, like, a laid back stream and watch that to give, Pirate his own time to shine, because that actually is unfortunate. Everything that I just read sucks. It makes me feel bad for him. It really does. Yeah. What the hell, dude? What the heliante? What the heliberry? Okay. After 5 years, you have. I mean, he's also an adult that can take care of himself, so I only feel bad for him in the way of like, that just sucks. Yeah, that's a shitty thing to go through. Fact. I would hate to have gone through something like that. Yeah. What the helly? Okay. After 5 years, you've come back around to pushing this LARP again because I'm a big creator now. I didn't work in 2020 because everyone called you on your shit. Oh, it didn't work in 2020. Yeah, I forgot to mention this person has tried to release this information before. It's clear why it didn't take the first time. I agree with that. Um well, I don't know. It seemed like you were down, my guy. What do you mean? If those are real texts. Is he saying the texts aren't real? Okay. That's what I'm saying. You should have responded to. You should have just. It didn't work in 2020 because everyone called you on your shit, and now it's not gonna work. I understand why he did this. I don't really care. I have my own opinions and beliefs, and I think that the truth lies somewhere in the middle, personally. And I think that it makes him look. It's like the same thing we said earlier about, oh God, what was it on a much smaller scale? He did the same thing. Oh, with a voice changing thing. Yeah, it's like, dude, like don't make it seem like something you need to hide or be ashamed of, and people won't make fun of you. Like you should. Okay. You were a massive donator to our game in the very beginning, and tried to use to get close to the booth. My opinions still don't change with this, but and I understand why you responded this way. I just wish that it was a little bit more honest, and maybe it is honest. Maybe this person was completely lying, fake screenshots. Um, Here's why I don't think that it was fake, though, is because if they wanted to outright fake abuse allegations, they could have. Then do that. Then put something, because what they used was not that. It was him being very nice to them at times and like being, I would say, like wanting to be an understanding and open partner with them. So, but if they wanted to just fake abuse allegations against Pirate, I feel like they would just outright do that. You know what I mean? Instead, they had to turn what they did have, they tried to skew it into something it wasn't about in terms of it being abusive. But Pirate, I think, is just denying that part of the interaction altogether, I believe. Um, Used to get close to the booth and myself. It worked. We were good friends for a bit there. When you were in the sphere of friendship, you tried to push that to something sexual, and I turned you down. After that, you went after Shay and made her so uncomfortable that she panics when thinking about that conversation. centers to this day and doesn't want to go to the conventions anymore, then you charged back all your donations and tried to cripple our studio. Your own BF at the time warned us how toxic and dangerous you were. Dude wasn't wrong. You spent the last 4 months on this hit piece website, shown on your GitHub, that the last 5 years, trying to make logs form the perfect argument to take me down. Before you edited our logs, you made up some weird hypersexual cartoon of who I am. Hell, your own website has you talking in the third person and typing. I was about to say something about that earlier. What the fuck is up with that? I was reading it and I was like, did somebody else write this? Why is it saying lyric like in the third person? That's so weird. They did write that shit. Your own website talking in the third person as if you're speaking from my perspective all over it. This shit is unhinged, sympathetic. You're a fucking parasite piece of shit and you need to leave us the fuck alone. See you in 2030 when you inevitably try this shit again. So, overall, pretty good response. Pretty good. I understand. I don't know what all he's denying, and that's good. And it's not for anybody to speculate. Oh no, one of my links. Oh, there it is. His actuality is none to speculate. I mean, the Discord screenshots, it looks real. I don't know. It'll be fake.
Pretty annoying person. And while I could go into the whole dramas that he's already been in, thankfully that's not the subject of today's video. While Pirate Software...
Okay, so here's the interview that, let's see. I want to give this guy a shout out. Even though he's the better me. That's a cute profile picture. Is that a corgi? Does this Cubone? That's one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Okay. This is Internet Adjacent, and this is now, if I'm promoting, it is so cute. He's got a little Cubone mask on. I love him. Now, if there's something I don't know about him, about Internet Adjacent, I'm sorry, but I've seen this one interview. He seems fine. He seems good. So I'm not worried. But I just wanted to be known I was not aware of this person before. But look, they can't be bad. They've got a little corgi dressed as Cubone in the profile picture, and it's so cute. Okay. Exposed as a degenerate. Is it crazy? Exposed as a degenerate. That's crazy. Okay. Sure, why not? We'll let somebody else read them that's not me. That sounds actually nice.
Let's have a brief palate cleanser. The leaked DMs between Lyric and Thor. That's right, everything up until now was just the appetizer. Now we get to the actual reason everyone's here. Pirate Software's leaked gay furry Telegram messages. I hate that's a sentence I had to say. You may be wondering, how weird are these messages? To which I respond with a video Lyric posted on Twitter of their Discord DMs with Thor, in which they talk about things like curling toes. Yeah, probably not good to eat right now, to be honest. I also need to preface this by saying there are so many fucking DMs. Oh my god. It is like 8 super long pages of the most degenerate shit you will ever see. The thing that really sucks about this is if you've looked at my channel, it's kind of painfully obvious that I used to be a furry. All I can say is thank God I got out.
I did see that. Hold on. they have that up as proof. And also, I'm nosy. Doesn't matter, I was nosy. Let's look. There's our first video.
You know, brave sound, human, loco, let's do that.
I liked it. Wait, no, I will like it. That's probably gonna get copyright claimed. I'll edit it out. I didn't use that much of the song. I stopped it pretty early on. But still, I'll probably still have to edit it out, because that's gonna get claimed. Oh god, no. Let's see if there's any more. I don't think so. I think that was the only one. That was the only proof of the furry. Nope. Nope.
Bitch, you know I'm sexy.
That's definitely gonna get claimed. Can I mute it?
You bear the mark. You are cursed.
Two. I should have just muted this then. I know for next time. I can't play it because it's copyright claimed music. It already played a section of it though. I'm gonna have to fix it. I know. Strange Mammal said your algo is doomed now. Not if I get to it like as soon as I might have to private the stream, but if I get to it like as soon as I get off, then it might be. It's probably fucked for the rest of the stream though, but it's fine because I won't be on for much longer. Oh well. I think I can save the VOD at least. All for guys furry video, dude. Fucked my shit up.
Thank God I got out. It's like the mafia. I got out before I was in too deep. So I'm only gonna go over some of the funny DMs I saw just as
Godspeed, sir. I'm glad you're out too.
palate cleanser, and I'm gonna be reading them very seriously. There's no jokes allowed.
It's all quiet now. It's so quiet now.
Here. Apart from that, if you want to check out the DMs, I'm going to be linking the entire thing below, so just go check them out yourself.
Dude, I want to learn how to play. Well, I know how to play Marvel Rivals. I just suck ass, and I want to get better. And then if I get better, I'll stream it. I should also practice for. I'm okay at Fortnite right now. I used to be way better, but I need to be less rusty.
With that, let's start going over the DMs. First image off, and it's already a good one. A little bit later on after this, they talk about...
I meant to ask this earlier. What's the animal from... Is it the Lion King? I don't think he's a dog. I think he's a hyena. Is, Pirate's furry form a hyena? I think he's a furry little hyena boy. Oh, it's gonna think you like that stuff now. That is true. So the thing is, for research, my algorithm is already really messed up. You don't know, but you know he likes ferrets. I think that's a hyena. He has dots. He has like the hyena speckles on his neck and shoulders. Luckily, I think I'm done with shorts for a little bit. Because I used to, so whenever I made shorts, this is a tangent. Whenever I made shorts, I was thinking about the stream, that's my bad. I read algorithm and said something completely different like a dumbass, but that's just who I am. Fuck. Oh. I would look for, I would make fun of trends. So I would like look for really stupid, annoying trends. And it was all my algorithm was for so long. So long. And I think, and it still is sometimes. It's bad. I don't know. A lot of it's probably going to get claimed too. My stuff will, but whatever. I mean, let's see. Oh, this one's fine. We'll do this one. This isn't really a trend. Is it muted?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
Yeah, it's stupid as fuck. So cringe. That's why we don't make shorts anymore, guys. That's why I don't do that anymore. It's cringe as fuck. Although I'm just cringe, so.
Say is thank God I got out. It's like the mafia. I got out before I was in too deep. So I'm a
how I feel about making shorts.
And it's already a good one. A little bit later on after this, they talk about dicks and do like whole cringe like sexting and shit. So sensitive. So, how big are you? Around 7.5, so a bit more.
You know what? I'm glad I watched my shorts before watching this because it makes me feel less cringy now. Oh, he's like, I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. Yeah, I think regardless of political opinions, that's just funny. If Kamala would have said that, I would have been like, that's my bitch. You know what I mean? It's just funny. Yeah. It's just funny. Also, in case anybody was wondering, I have don't have an opinion. I mean, I'm really more on the left, I suppose, but I didn't vote. Unfortunately, I abstained. I mean, I've abstained every year. Embarrassingly. So. Probably should have said that, but it's whatever. People really don't like it when you don't vote. It's not really. I don't know. It's not to prove a point or anything. I don't know who I would vote for most of the time. I should have voted for Kamala this last time, but I didn't. So that's my bad.
Caused problems before.
Just my bad. There's plenty of people that did the exact same thing.
Oh, whoa, careful not to take an eye out with that thing. I want to fucking shoot myself in the head with a nail gun. You ever get like secondhand embarrassment? I'm getting third-hand embarrassment right now. There's a lot of stickers, by the way, lots of...
I'll probably edit out this weird political stuff too. There's so much of this I have to edit out. It's not weird political stuff, but it has nothing to do with this. And I'm also like not... When it comes to like... I really like certain aspects of history, and if sometimes, you know, and then I feel like some things are important to learn about, like the Israel-Palestine conflict is important to learn about, and then there's what's going on with Iran, and I mean just I think it's important to know certain things, but I'm gonna edit all this out.
Dicks and ass and stuff. This is a thing that happened that I am looking at with my eyes. Now, you may be asking why this stuff is relevant to the allegations at all. First of all, to be honest, in my opinion, they aren't. It's just kind of funny that it's
I
it's on the
agree.
internet for everyone to see. The second reason is like Pirate Software has very adamantly.
Have I seen all things going the protests? Yes, I have seen the protests. You know, I don't believe in separating families. I don't believe in I don't know if they're spreading propaganda or not. I'm not there. People say that it's propaganda that they're burning cars and stuff, but I don't believe in burning cars or well, I mean it's like whatever, I don't really care. But I don't think that they need to stop blocking traffic because there's people that need to get to the hospital, there's people that have stuff they got to do. So I believe in peaceful protesting, especially for that cause. I think it's a just cause. People have been here for their entire lives. I mean, why is there a law? This is a stupid take. Nah, I probably shouldn't say it. Well, it just feels dumbed down, that's all. But it's like, why is there a law that in some states where it's you are in a relationship and living with somebody for a number of years and you're common law married, but you could live in a place literally from the time that you can speak up until adulthood and not considered a citizen? Yeah. I mean, when Trump first became president, my friends and I went downtown for the protest. It was pretty wild. All the cops were down there. That is crazy. Good for you guys. That's nuts.
Denied being a furry before, which we now know he
Now let's talk about this some more.
kind of is.
So, that's probably because I used to sell furry avatars in Second Life back when I was like
I was probably ear abuse. I'm so sorry.
20. And I made about $10,000 a month doing so because we sold a shitload of them. And we actually, both Wingless and I, who is Maine, made statements about this. And we sold them on the internet. And we've put it out here. So if you want to read about that and that whole situation, we've both been very public about it for about half a year. Furries have a lot of money? Yes. Furries do actually have a lot of money. That is true. And I loved selling things to them.
Remember when the worst thing you could say about this guy is that he cheated at puzzle games or like suck ass?
Dude, you can just say that. It's fine. Just say you're furry. I think people would accept you with open arms. I really do. More than you think they would. Fuck it. Who cares? Everybody's got weird stuff. But I feel like it's just... If there's anything... The other stuff, it doesn't really make sense for him to obfuscate on and, like, not admit, but, like, nobody should force anybody to talk about their preferences or sexuality, so... This one's completely justified for him to not want to address. He's almost being dragged. In a way. Good for him for not, you know... Again, he... Very good about asserting his own boundaries. That's, a trait that a lot of people don't have. He knows what he's comfortable with, and he's good about setting appropriate, and even I would say, like, you know, respectful, like, to the other person. Like, he's very respectful about explaining his boundaries. So.
Ass at World of Warcraft. Oh, those are the good times. Then they like role play about waking up and getting blown or some shit. I have no idea what the fuck I'm even reading. Pat, you seem to be doing well recently. Where you patting? Well, do you have a preference?
Sorry.
I'm asking
It's
you.
awful.
Patting your butt.
No.
Oh, that's what you like. You know I do.
I think I was just trying to burp over the pain. It's making me sick, actually.
These people were over 20. Things didn't stay like this forever, as trouble was on the horizon in paradise. Eventually, the whole loyalty debacle started, and from there, it only got worse over time.
This.
This whole argument lasted an entire page, by the way, and then it went back to the fucking uwu talk. Eventually, at the end of page 8, we see the conversation that was referenced earlier, and we're basically caught up to modern day. Like I said, those DMs are 8 giant pages, so if you really want to fucking torture yourself by reading it, I'll link Lyric's website in the description. On top of that, I think Chud Logic went over a whole shit ton of them, so you can go watch his thing. It's fucking 3 hours long. If you want to see 3 hours of gay furry DMs, knock yourself out. Speaking of gay furries, let's go over Thor's response to the claims. I'll throw it up on screen, but I'm basically going to summarize it. What they're saying is that Lyric tried this before back in 2020 to no success. Then that the two of them were really cool before they had a falling out, and Lyric targeted Shay and tried to cripple their game studio because they charged back their $800 donation. Thor claims that Lyric's own boyfriend told them that they were psychotic, and then that he edited the logs to make Thor seem like a hypersexual weirdo. Lyric called them out on their bullshit, as I said before with the interview. I guess would you mind saying who you are?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Lyric. I did the thing everybody hates.
How do you feel about the public response?
I felt a lot worse about it when in the first 2 days that I had it up. But I feel better about it recently. About 2 days ago, someone in the Discord server reached out to me. He educated me on a lot of the.
That's very reassuring. It's very reassuring that the public perception of that. I'm not the only one that was like, this is crazy. It makes me feel better.
Recent dramas with Thor, and suddenly everything kind of clicked for me in that moment. After the third thing he told me, because there's just this big list of things, right? After the third thing he told me, I'm starting to realize oh, these guys have seen some shit, you know. This is compared to all those other things, it's kind of, I can kind of see why it's a nothing burger. I can kind of see why the evidence isn't compelling. I kind of see all of these things. For me, my entire perspective on any situation regarding Thor is when I tried to, come out against him in 2019, I was I was shut down by everyone. Kind of similar to now, but it was different back then. Everyone was defending him.
Too slow still.
Believed everything he was saying. He was like a
dude. The hell. No. I'm getting sick of this. I know it's hard to see you, but I just want to be done with it. I'm starting to lose my train.
It's a good guy. Everyone knew he was a good guy. And now in 2025, it's comical, right? Because now in 2025, everyone is shutting me down because they already know he's a bad person. And so for me, it's just okay, well, I'm out of the loop, clearly, but I find myself understanding the nothing burger comments. I find myself, understanding where these people are coming from, where especially people who say that, oh, I already don't support Thor and this is nothing. As for people who have seen all the stuff that he's done in the past year, I think it just, the response makes complete sense. But I know I haven't directly addressed it. That's kind of just how I feel about it. I don't plan to make a post about it or anything, because I'm not really interested in saving face. I couldn't really care less. Generally I just couldn't care less what people have to say, but at least now I understand where the comments are coming from.
Is there any clarifications you would like to make in regards to the statements or accusations you made against Thor?
Any clarifications?
Anything you would like to, any misconceptions, or maybe something you want to specify?
Actually, yes. Okay, and I need to apologize for this, but the posts and the page are they are not structured in order of importance. They are structured in chronological order, and not everything is equally important. The first couple of things are.
Which things are really important? I felt like the financial abuse was, yeah, important, but you didn't have any evidence for it, so there's one screenshot for that, my man. Oh, I do on occasion, or I have in the past. Or I used to. That's a better way to put it. Oh, father of... Ah! God bless.
All right, chat. Today is going to be a great video.
I don't want to lead up.
Things are really not interesting or compelling. So I can totally understand people getting bored and, you know, not really interested in reading because it's a lot of stuff, you know. Like when I first started on it, it was just going to be a small Google Doc, like 1 or 2 pages long. Yeah, it was going to be a small Google Doc. So like I would.
I don't know. I want to play the new Mario Kart. I don't need to Switch. That'd be cool to have a Switch. Definitely don't need one though. Can hook it up to the TV though. That's pretty sick. You could get it double as a console and a portable. That's pretty sick. I'll play the hell out of Mario Kart on it. Steam Deck would be cool. It's so funny. I know I said I wouldn't talk about H3, but there was, God, what was he playing on the Steam Deck that just sounds impossible? There was a while where Ethan went through this phase where he played everything on Steam Deck. There was something that's like, that sounds hard as fuck. And I would never do that to myself. God, I forget what it was. I would too. There is a way to like connect Oculus to like your computer and set it up through like OBS, isn't there? Because I have an Oculus. It's just the second one. Oculus would be sick. I feel like it would like maybe a headache for a while. There's this one PvP game on there. If you guys have an Oculus, you should fucking get it. It's free. It's like it's Battle Royale. They have a Battle Royale option. PvP, Battle Royale. No. Well, yes. And then they also have PvP. So they have like arena PvP, and other players can come in and sit on their Oculuses and watch two people play. And essentially, you're standing there, and what happens is you get a bunch of weapon options. They pop up in front of you. It's called Blast On. It's so good. Blast On is so good. It's so much fun. I've spent hours playing Blast On. And like I get so motion sickness, so I felt like I was gonna throw up, but it was worth it. But it's so much fun. They have a bow, and you could. The bow's my favorite. You could delete it if you don't like it. It doesn't take up too much space either on your Oculus. It's pretty sick. It's probably a newer version because it's been a while since I played it. So it's probably been updated.
It wasn't going to be like a takedown post or anything. It was just going to be like, hey, this shitty thing happened to me. And so I kind of just like elaborated more and more on it, and kind of never made it into like a really super digestible form. I did try my best to make it digestible, but I kind of like I made the same mistake I did last time, which is like expecting people to actually devote like any amount of time into reading things. So I should have ordered things like in rough chronological order and skipped like a lot of things that were not critical to things against him, I guess.
Like, what are you even talking about? Most of the DMs, you mean? Girl? I don't know what you mean.
Accusations at hand.
Yeah, like the accusations at hand. Like 90% of comments I see are like, oh, like,
So
you.
here's your opportunity now. Please do that now. Please tell me now exactly. Break down for me because I'm one of those people that, because of the way you worded it is what you're saying, because of the way you and even though I disagree, I'm one of those people that now misunderstands the whole lot of the accusations, and I need you to explain them for me. And this is your opportunity. Please do so now.
Two were consenting adults. You were 20. You were over 18. Like it doesn't matter that he was 31. And I do get that. Like it's not like a criminal like case. I would have probably tried maybe more legal approach if I felt like he had sexually abused me, or if I felt like anything along those lines. Um, but that's not to say that age isn't important. It's just not the centerpiece of what I'm saying. It's just like one piece of the puzzle. Like we had an 11-year age gap. I looked up to him as a creator and streamer, and it's those facts in combination that should kind of get a picture in your head about the power dynamic that's between us, like that describes our relationship. Not necessarily that like all power dynamics are bad and you should never talk to fans in private, but I think it's once you take advantage of that power dynamic, once you say things that establish your dominance based on those things, begins to be exploitative.
Are there any claims that you made against Thor that you no longer stand by?
Oh no, anything I said in the site, I can at least tell you that I've thought about these claims, and I stand by everything I said. I don't necessarily stand by the order in which I presented it, the way in which I presented it, but any claims, any observations or analyses, I stand by those.
The one thing that I saw, and I saw other people had like a problem with, was the whole like because of what happened, the grades going down. Is it? It's a little unreasonable to blame him for that.
Sure,
way,
sure.
Yeah.
It's maybe incidental. It's not 100% certainty. I think it's not 100% certainty because like even when I was going through those things all throughout 2018, 2019, 2020, I never blamed him for anything that happened. I never blamed him for how I did in school. I never blamed him for um, my my YouTube channel and not posting a lot. I never blamed him for any of those things. I never felt like anything that happened to me was related to anything that Thor had done until I just took a look at things. And for me, I'm not sure. I can't be certain. I wasn't certain back then. I still can't be certain. Like, what really happened? Like, what do I believe that he had a direct result on my performance in school? Like, I believe he did. Like, I know there's no concrete evidence to show that I did, but looking at the timeline, I do believe it did. This is the same with like my YouTube as well. Like, do I have concrete evidence that like the reason in my brain that I like lost motivation is because of that event? I don't know. But like even though I didn't believe it back then, I do believe now that it's a direct result of those events. I just personally think it's most likely the case. I don't think that I have undeniable proof, but like that's what I believe.
Do you think uploading the entire nature of the DMs between you and Thor potentially hindered anything in any way?
Probably. I mean, could you be more specific?
Because when looking at other coverage of this as well, because I use that to get a frame of reference, a lot of people, a good majority of their coverage was just the Telegram messages and laughing at like the absurdity of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to craft anything. I'm not here to, so here's the thing: is if I don't do it, then
I went through the regular DMs, and I'm like, I'm I'm not with you either, friend. Yeah, I was buying games for $5 and $10. Oh. Oh. Steam discounts are good. We used to have Game Pass on Xbox that shit used to get me, but apparently they're getting new games. Crash Bandicoot Quattro. So I might have to get it again. Also, I want Minecraft back. He's blaming others for his own issues. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, I just don't. This just seems like, in the beginning, he's like, it's just a big nothing burger. And then he keeps talking, or he's like, people say it's a big nothing burger, and then the more he keeps talking, it's like, you're not beating the nothing burger allegations.
everything's taken out of context. If I do it, it's cringe, and I'd rather just be like, yeah, I was cringe in 2018. Like, that's it's easier for me to deal with that. I feel.
Are you cringe now?
And what specifically was the $800 chargeback that was like a catalyst to a lot of this? Was that just because you guys had a falling out, or what was the reason for that chargeback specifically?
I think I started looking into getting a chargeback when he refunded my Kickstarter pledge. So I had a Kickstarter pledge for $1,500, so $1,500. And he
Oh my
refunded it.
god, so that's what it is because he donated to. Bro, that was your choice. That's the financial abuse allegations because he donated for the game? That's crazy. That's too much, dude. Come on now. That was your choice. You made that decision. Dumb or not, it was yours. Come on now.
Refunded it in December. I think that's what got the thought in my
That's
mind is like,
nice.
oh yeah, I should probably,
That's nice. He didn't have to do that shit. What do you mean? What did he
you know,
refund?
see if I get that back.
Just to be clear on this, you never
You
doxed
said see if you get it back. He doesn't. I mean,
Pirate Software or Thor. You've never doxed any of them, correct?
That's correct. I need to. I'm working on this right now, but I can mostly prove. I can mostly prove that because I can publish the thing I posted in 2018, and I think pretty confidently prove that they weren't edited like before that point because as it stands, I can.
oh, I didn't even see you mention Elden Ring. I haven't played it all the way through yet, embarrassingly, but I would like to. It's such a good game. But I'd like to replay Red Dead. And also, I'd like to stop being in this.
I can only prove that I haven't edited them. Like they haven't changed since 2018, but like it doesn't prove that I never edited them.
Red Dead just has a really good story, is why I mentioned Red Dead. The Red Dead 2, obviously.
Before I published it, but I think I finally know how I can prove that I never edited them in the first place.
I guess my last question is: Do you have any thoughts to like close this out on? I guess like any statements.
I guess two things. One, sorry, I'm sorry everything's in chronological order, and that it takes time to get to the meat of things. I probably should have tried to put myself in the shoes of people reading more. I did try, but I didn't do a good job of it. And the second
Well,
thing
then tell me what I missed, please.
is a lot of people are saying it's weird I made a website, and I can definitely like see that because I didn't explain at all why I made a website instead of like a Google Doc, and the reason is because it was a Google Doc at first, and I was basically ready to release it, but then.
So does he pay for that website to be up? That's funny.
It crossed my mind that he will most likely try to DDoS the Google Doc, and not him directly, but like I could foresee that his fan base would DDoS the Google Doc and report it for abuse and try to get it taken down so no one would see it. And that's the reason I made a website. That's the only reason I made a website is so that I could make it not DDoSable. And
I think domains are like $100 a year. It's not too crazy. No, what is just a hate website about somebody. I feel like, you know what I mean. Just for anything. Like even if you told me it was like $5 a year, I'd be like, but you're paying for what? Yeah, you're paying for like for a website about somebody else that you don't like. It's strange. It's a weird way to spend your money. But dude, you sure?
and I'm pretty certain that they would have tried to take it down that way.
Well,
because,
that's funny.
and I don't know why it's deleted. But,
the Ryan Kavanaugh Harvey Weinstein thing was funny, but apparently Ethan's not allowed to talk about it anymore. Did you hear that apparently they ended amicably? People were saying that Ethan lost. I guess, sure. Yeah, I guess, yeah, he probably, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if they lost. They've come to a mutual understanding, but Ethan has to delete all of the Ryan Kavanaugh content. Isn't that crazy? Everything he's ever... That is like a year of my life that's being deleted. But he was talking about, I guess they're boys now. Like they were sitting and talking, and Ethan said that he was really nice. So, and their lawyers made a joke about them like getting married or something because they were getting along so well, which is weird. That's funny.
Someone on Twitter said that they hope that
It
the
is crazy. It is, yeah, Ethan's got to delete all the Ryan Kavanaugh stuff. That's so crazy. It's so funny.
report goes through on my domain registrar. So I guess someone, sent reports to the people who registered my domain to report it for abuse.
I haven't seen anything of even since the Hassan debate. I still watch. I haven't been watching as much. Now I'll wait, and I used to watch like every episode religiously, regardless of what it was. I'd be there, but it's just kind of crazy. But now I'll wait and see if it's like it's not crazy. I guess people do all the time. I might start again, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing up here. There's like a smudge up here, but what I'll do now is I'll see something. If I see something in the thumbnail or the title that interests me, I click. Which lawsuit? There was a few. I think it was. I don't remember. He settled. I think it was just the most recent one, or the defamation lawsuit. I believe that Ryan, like Ethan to Ryan, that were like Ryan had, because he was accusing Ethan of defaming him. So Ethan had to take down had to take down all the Ryan Kavanaugh videos, which is so sad. So much of my life is gone now. I believe it's a defamation lawsuit, though. I believe. You want to watch it? I'll get it. I think I know where it's at. What did you say, Eric? Once I realized no one is going to change their mind, I just stopped. That's fair. And then did the thing with Ethan showing the boxing event get figured out? I don't know. Wait. I think so. I think that was the first. Wasn't that the first one? When he was like the Triller thing? I think Ethan might have won that one. Or he won with the anti-slap, or Ryan won the anti-slap. I don't remember. I think Ethan had to pay like $500 or like 5K. Thought he said he lost. Which one? This one? For the Triller thing? I don't remember. There was so much of that. Let's find this one. If I remember, yeah, for the Triller thing. I mean, I could see that. Triller's a really big company. Didn't he? I feel like Ethan won something. He got something. Is it in this one with Steiny? Oh, okay, I just thought that's where the whole thing originally started. I thought it was too. Well, yeah, you have a better memory than I do in general. I have a shit memory. It's from my fog machine, I'm sure. Where is... Just like now, like what am I even looking for right now? It's not that one for sure. For sure. Maybe it is this tiny one.
Quickly approaching our break, which on
So, aha. Look at me. Ethan had to pay the amount for the amount of views the fight video had that privately did a preference for the podcast. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Especially for like copyright law. What, did he win one? Or am I just like coping right now?
with my good friend Ryan Kavanaugh. And
Turn it down because Dan sounds like a chipmunk when he laughs at that speed. It's kind of cute though. Let me hear it again.
with my good friend Ryan Kavanaugh. And
Yeah, makes sense. He won, but they did an anti-slap and it took, okay, that's what I was remembering. I was like, he won, but I'm remembering an anti-slap. And I'm pretty sure Cav won the anti-slap. So.
let me tell you something. Second mediation we've done, almost 2 years apart to the date.
Wow.
This lawsuit has been going on.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That whole encounter where you met in the cafeteria?
Yep.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
Same place. It was the same place, almost the same day, 2 years to the date.
Wow.
Last time we didn't find terms, amicable terms. This time I think we were both pretty much like ready to move on with our lives, very much so. And
Ethan's got much smaller fish to fry.
well, I'm excited to announce that the lawsuit is finally over.
Wow. Congrats.
It's over. We worked it out. We worked it out. And, you know...
People with way less money than Ryan Kavanaugh, like Noah Samson, for instance.
I actually sat with him one-on-one for a long time, and we chatted. And we got on very... You know, we're besties. We're besties now.
That must have been surreal.
You know how I am.
Sure.
We kind of hit it off immediately.
Wow. Yeah, you
I really do feel like that probably rings true. I feel like Ethan could probably get along with anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah, to a certain extent, obviously. Like, not Hassan. But that they did at one point. They did at one point. It's kind of crazy that he lost all of them, technically. That is crazy. I feel like I know that's it's because of the media I've been consuming. But I feel like it's the Mandela effect in place. I feel like I've been Mandela affected.
You can get along with anybody.
He's you know, we got on well. He was very nice, and to be honest, he was super reasonable too. And I think we're all just relieved that it's over. And as I said in the Instagram stories, it's you know, closing one battlefront so that we can open another one that is much more important, much more pertinent, personal, and all the other things that you can imagine that I could say at this moment.
All those more eloquent than me.
But listen, it's done. Yeah.
And I know that like Ethan's not everybody's cup of tea. I just feel like if you don't get into like anything heavy and you just like he just seems like joke. I wonder. That's all I meant. Maybe that would make sense. He's like, yeah, I know how it feels to be defamed, Ethan. You did it to me. That's funny. He's like, but I forgive you. And then they hug. Ethan's voice. That's funny. Does he have an annoying voice? That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're dogs.
And that was from Was it 2020
Now I'm
when
like
this
listening for it.
all started? What
Must
year?
have been, yeah. No, well, maybe not that long.
2021?
It's been
21, I believe.
So
It's been almost 4 almost
21.
It's been going on for 4 years.
Somebody went through
4
high school
fucking years.
in the time that had all been going on. Their entire high school.
We don't have to watch this. I just. Let's see. I mean, I got the gist, right? Well, has he even said that he had to delete it yet?
Entire high school experience. Of
I
their
hate
life.
that.
That's crazy.
Well, basically, we were at the point where if we didn't find a settlement, we were going to go to a trial. Which
Could that be on Court TV? That would be great content.
I don't know.
We've been
Probably would've
robbed.
tried.
We've been robbed of good content.
Yeah, probably would have tried if I did, but that would have been even worse than anything we've been through. I've never been to trial, and from what I understand, and it is the truth. It's just trial is hell. It's super expensive. Well, we're out of the courtroom.
Let's go. I was saying, I have jury duty coming up, and
That would've been so
I could have
great.
tried to game the system and get on that jury.
Yeah. Do you know any of these people? No.
Absolutely.
No.
That would have been so.
Never
fucking
seen that man before in my life.
Probably not. Yeah, well, I guess that'd probably be. That comes from my heart.
Did he say
That
that?
comes. Yeah.
They said,
A play
they
date?
walked into the room and like, oh, look at these two lovebirds.
No, we were chatting it up, and they're like, "Oh, you guys need some extra time to be, lovebirds." Like, they're just kidding. It's just a
They were
joke. Why are you guys so
teasing you?
weirded
They
out
were
by that?
bullying you in the
No,
fucking
they're just-
mediation. Wow.
No, this was
That's
after it was
silly.
all done. We were kind of just
Throwing
working-
down?
Well, so after we came to terms, you have to sit in we sat in a conference room, and then you work out like the details of everything, and it takes forever, bro. I was there for 12 fucking hours. It was grueling. But so anyway, part of our amicably moving on from this is that over the next 30 days, I've agreed to start scrubbing out the Ryan Kavanaugh segments. So say farewell to Ryan Kavanaugh from the H3 show. We will be with peace and love. We are saying
Somebody internet archive it immediately.
no more Ryan Kavanaugh. Thank you. We will be cutting
Way worse
all...
than Ian leaving.
And we can't disparage him either, Dan. So just be careful.
What is Ian? Okay.
Just saying, be very careful, because I really can't disparage him. But why would I?
Your buddy.
Yeah,
Why
No,
would you?
legitimately.
It's your bro.
I'm being totally honest when I say he was.
We're done now. Should we even bother? I think we're done with the pirate software stuff. What do you think of the new button sponsor? Isn't that Dan's company? Like Destiny's Dan? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I mean, I think that if it wasn't that association, I think it's an alright sponsor and it makes sense for the button. I think we wait and see how far that whole affiliation goes. I'm holding out hope that it doesn't mean much, but you never know, and you don't know. Yeah, you don't know. Anyway. Frankly, don't people... There's like a sponsor for the button now, and I read somewhere that, and I don't even know if this is true. By the way, strange, I don't even know if that's true. I first should have said that already. But there's, I read something that said it was Dan, was it Solzman? Is that his name? What is his name? That it was his company. It's like, fuck. No. Oh. What does it do? Do you remember what it does, Mammal? Like the sponsor, like what they do? It's something to do with like, oh, they scrub your, I remember. They scrub, don't they scrub like your Twitter? Like all your Twitter history or something, or like all your internet history? Is that what it is? I believe that's what it is. So it's a funny sponsor for the button. Yep. So it's a funny sponsor for the button. Seems to check out. With very little research. Okay. Alright, I need something else for my eyes. And then I'll think about that. I heard there was something else that came out about the Pixie lawsuit. I would like to revisit that, but I don't know. I hope everything's okay with her. I have someone. Oh my god. 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 How do I even? No good logic. That's crazy. That's gonna get me claimed. Don't. I don't remember her name. Are you kidding me? Hassan was pretty upset about it. I don't even remember. I remember I read something about it. Have you been playing games lately? I have been playing a wee bit of Fortnite. I'll play Fortnite. Where's my controller? I'll play a game or two. Where's my shit at? All of my shit's gone because people like to fuck with my shit. Well, that's not really why. People have to fuck with my shit because it's in the way. Because I put it in the way, but still. Well, I don't know where my shit is, so. I just leave it in the way, and so now it's gone. Where's my... Well, it was right here, plugged into my controller, but... It's fine. I want to finish Fallout 4, finally. I love Fallout 4. It's a good game to sit down and play all the way through. Have you played Fallout 76 or Fallout New Vegas yet? I have. And you're asking Mammal. I will let you use your chat. You guys talk while I find those anyway. There's no way. It's gone forever. Wait, no. Volume down. Did I find it? I found it. So I got into this hole the other day. It's fantastic. This woman is fantastic. Okay. Let's see what you guys have been talking about. Way back, I just finally got a Tale 2 Wastelands mod for Fallout 3 New Vegas. It's so good. The mods are 2 games in one. What do those mods have? I don't think I've used those mods. The game so much smoother and okay. Alright, let's find this now. It says good for her algo, so I'll type it in. Silly dyslexic me. Now, I will say, she does let her kids on her channel, but it appears that they're like preteens that think it's cool that she has a YouTube channel and like want to be there. And so, and she doesn't exploit them, and it's not like that. But I will not be showing them, because the videos that I watch, oh my god. She is not coming up. She's small. I don't know what I thought that was going to achieve, to be honest. Me typing in egg roll. I love spring rolls. Dude, I just want to find this. This is silly. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do this right now. Yeah, I don't even care. Let's just do it this way. Yeah. That one. She does this series where she puts different things in egg roll wraps. And it's sick. And I've watched every single one of them in one sitting. Um, what's your best meal that you got locked down? There's a couple things that I like to make. I keep a couple things in rotation. I make really good stuffed peppers. I make really good, and then I take some of the filling and I'll turn it into chili, add a couple more ingredients. And then I make really good, I have like a garden, and so I'm gonna make basil out of my, or I have basil. I'm gonna make pesto out of my basil. And then I have, I make all kinds of stuff really. Really easy casserole is just like chicken casserole. I love chicken salad. That's easy. For stuff that I just like whip up real fast is like that's my favorite to do like all the time. And then other stuff takes a while. Like I've made General Tso's chicken from scratch. I made that several times, but it takes a while. So I don't make that one as much as like something else. Which one? I cook a lot. I like to cook. I don't cook every day anymore. I have in the past cooked most days. But sometimes I try to like pre-plan meals, but I don't as much as I'd like to be honest. Start from the beginning, why not?
We have to make up for that last video. So this is the second video that we're doing tonight. Trying foods inside of an egg roll wrap. We're putting a Twinkie inside of it, okay? Once my kids go to bed, because I'm not sharing it, okay? Will this
Cooking stream would be sick, yeah.
fit in there though?
I thought about doing a stream and cooking out on the Blackstone. We could do that. That'd be fun. I could find like something that I know off the top of my head to cover. Because there's a couple things that I just like can just gab about. She's wearing
Trying different things inside of egg roll wraps, number 26. Today I'm putting leftover taco meat, black beans, and corn inside of one with some cheese. Here she is, but hold on. We're not done yet. Sour cream. Mmm.
Listen, it's not even that extravagant, but and her energy, she gets more up. Hold on.
Trying different things inside of egg roll wrappers, number 37. Today I'm making steak and cheese egg rolls. Some cheese.
This is the one where she uses dino nookies.
Egg roll number 43. Will this be gross? We're putting a chewy bar that's covered in chocolate inside of an egg roll wrapper. A little powdered sugar. Here she is. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of good. I kind of like it.
Anyway.
Egg roll number
I like
43.
her. She's fun. I feel like she's not as open in these beginning videos. When does she open up a little bit?
We're on day 8, and so many of you guys are telling me to do this one. I've never heard of it. It must be a thing, so let's try it. Today we're going to try the very highly requested Snickers bar.
They're sweet ones. I'm tired of the sweet ones. This is my color mixing, by the way. Is watching this lady make random egg rolls. Anyway. Oh, no, but I have them. They're just tucked away in a weird workspace on my computer. All that you want is a little baby. to get off here soon. I'm gonna get stuck in this. It's right there.
Alright, part 4.
I saved it for stream.
So, we go to Home Depot.
Yeah. I don't remember. All that you want is a little baby. I don't fucking remember that.
Go to Lowe's.
I think I probably heard it on YouTube Shorts. It stuck in my head. I don't even realize I'm saying, especially when I'm tired. So
I'm choosing all these appliances. He's taking pictures of the SKU number. We had representatives helping us, and
God,
he
it's almost
basically
2
explained
o'clock.
to them, "Hey, we're buying a house."
I can't start this. It's almost 2 o'clock. I won't stop. Wait. Mammal, if you're still here. I will after this. Hold on. Mammal, if you're still here, hold on. Look at this. Go up. Go up, go up, go up. Does it? Yeah, this is fun.
And yeah, overwhelming support from former colleagues of mine that have privately messaged me, and I do appreciate that. But I do have knowledge of active planned reprisal activity against myself and other colleagues, and it's very upsetting to me.
Coming from where?
Certain senior leadership at previous agencies I was associated with. And that's all I'll say publicly, but I can provide more details in a closed environment.
Okay. Well, I hope you understand that there would be bipartisan rejection of any attempt to vilify, demonize, or engage in other reprisals against our witnesses and people who are telling the truth from their perspective.
Yeah, there were certain colleagues of mine that were brutally administratively.
This guy's super interesting. I gotta just like pull out aliens.
Dark gray or black cubes inside of a...
I have where to put in this section. I just have to. I have it ready. I literally sent it to myself to put in there. I just haven't yet.
Clear sphere?
I'm sorry, dark gray or black cubes?
Yes,
Yeah.
inside of a clear sphere. Like many others, in 2017, I saw the New York Times article come out as well. And for me, it was special because I recognized the voices on the video. I recognized the video itself. I had seen it when it was taken. I seen it when it was debriefed. And so that was kind of shook me because I realized that this problem was still ongoing. And so I reached out to colleagues back on the East Coast and realized that this was still a safety risk that they were dealing with, that they had essentially hit a wall with how they could move forward on this conversation. It was at that point when I decided to try to move the conversation forward myself.
Are there common characteristics to the UAPs that have been cited by different pilots, and can you describe what the convergence of descriptions is?
Certainly. We were primarily seeing dark gray or black.
I had a pilot friend that said he's seen those. Apparently a lot of the as you hear from about from like Air Forces and I mean really just there was a lot of like Soviets from World War II, like Soviet pilots that said very similar things to this. Actually, crazier things than that, even though I think it was proven to be false, but there was one report saying that they were turned to stone, which is nuts. If I exit out of that, will it go away forever? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't want to risk it.
Dark gray or black cubes inside of a clear sphere?
I'm sorry, dark gray or black cubes?
Yes,
Yeah.
inside of a clear sphere, where the apex or tips of the cube were touching the inside of that sphere. And that was primarily what was being reported when we were able to gain a visual tally of these objects. And that occurred over almost 8 years. And as far as I know, it's still occurring.
So I take it that you're arguing what we need is real transparency in a reporting system so we can get some clarity on what's going on out there, because there are many pilots.
Alien reports. Alien reports. Alien. That's a mouthful.
That's in your situation, but we should have a way of developing a systematic.
I like his bandana.
inventory of all of such encounters. Is that right?
Yes, and I think we need both transparency and the reporting. We have the reporting, but we need to make sure that information can be promulgated to commercial aviation as well as the rest of the populace.
Mr. Grush, what about you? What was your experience after you came forward?
Well, it's only.
He was in, let's see, in San Diego. It could be. Or it could be true. But I mean, it is true that a lot of pilots have said very similar stories to that, which I think is interesting. It's fun to think about at the very least. You know what I mean?
Well, it's only been about 2 months or so, so I guess my experience has been overwhelming support from former
I
colleagues.
can get that together specifically, actually. That'd be interesting. Let me write it down. Where am I even going to put that? I don't remember. Well, I can try to do that, yeah. If I can get more, like, accounts of, like, pilots seeing this similar or, like, UFOs, like, in flight and, like, how they react and, like, their flight patterns that they claim to see. I think even some they have caught on radar, I believe, so we should look into those. Those are interesting.
Former colleagues of mine that have privately messaged me, and I do appreciate that. But I do have knowledge of active planned reprisal activity against myself and other colleagues, and it's very upsetting to me.
Coming from where?
I just had it. Was
Certain
it?
senior leadership
Where did my
at
vape go?
previous agencies I was associated with. And that's all I'll say publicly, but I can provide more details in a closed environment.
Okay. Well, I hope you understand that there would be bipartisan rejection of any attempt to vilify, demonize, or engage in other reprisals against our witnesses and people.
I've had too many friends see things for them. I feel. I definitely feel you.
Witnesses and people who
Oh,
are.
we will definitely get into this another time. I just wanted to show you some of this stuff. Would like to watch this, yes.
If you can write a general lat long where we're at, and then the number of contacts you got, get the courses.
Far too loud.
You know what I mean? And road a position to us. Make bearings. Might be helpful too. Eyes up. Eyes down.
Maintain track as best you can.
This is a naval radar, by the way. Wait, continue.
Track 781 just sped up to 46 knots, 50 knots, closing in. Oh, actually 38 knots. Holy shit, going fast.
That one's pretty much perfectly 000 relative, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
6.3 at 3 miles, 55 knots speed.
That's nuts.
OD, if you can write a general lat long where we're at, and then the number of contacts you got, get the courses, speed meters off them. You know what I mean? And road a position to us. Make bearings. Might be helpful too. Eyes up. Eyes down.
Hear how fast that fucking thing was going? Or like, hold on. Chilling video appears to show U.S. formed by 14 spherical UFOs traveling 25 kilometers per hour, or 254 kilometers per hour. The video was leaked to Jeremy Corbell, a documentary filmmaker who has been behind a recent string of UFO footage. He's posted a clip on his Instagram page. I don't care. Numerous objects can be seen swarming across the screen, or the green and black screen in the ship's combat uniform center. He explains July 15th, 2019. The encounter off of the coast of San Diego lasted 2 hours from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. It ended when one of the 1.8-meter objects plunged into the ocean. No wreckage was ever recovered from the scene. Nuts. We can get back into that though. I'm gonna get off here. I'm tired and I'm getting super into this actually, and I need to stop. So I'm like, ooh, submarine. Okay. It's pretty cool though. It's neat. Okay. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Always appreciated. And, you know, if there's ever... Bye-bye. I don't know. I was getting that. It's not your job to find me content. I need to find content for myself. If there's something that I missed or you feel like I should cover, you can let me know. But also no pressure, because it's my job, and you don't have to do it for me. Okay, I'm clearly tired. I'm gonna get off here now. Goodbye.